Okay, looks like YouTube stream is up. Hello, Azeweeb, how's it going? Just gonna give a quick check to Twitch audio, make sure everything is sounding good. Yeah. Game audio wasn't quite working for a second there, so. Okay, we're good. We're big chillin'. We are ready to go for this evening. Okie dokie. Where are you looking? Yep, alright. So, hello everyone. I am on the other side of my first day of classes. Started today, as I have been alluding to for a little while now. Which does mean... Oh shit. Why are we dropping frames? Due to encoding lag. Are we okay? I think we're good. Those weren't network frames. Network frames are the ones you gotta watch out for. Okay, we are on the right internet. I think we should be good. Yes. As I have been mentioning, that will mean changes in my stream schedule. But to be completely honest, I won't really know what those are going to exactly look like until they come to pass. It is looking like the bulk of a lot of my weekly assignments are going to be due on like Wednesday. So that probably won't be a streaming day. If I had to guess, we'll probably end up with something like, well, I was gonna say Sunday, Monday, Thursday, but there's a club I was looking at joining that meets on Mondays, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Anyone's guess is your guess is as good as mine, y'all. We'll figure it out as we go. I'm genuinely not sure how things are gonna pan out yet, but I'll keep y'all posted when I decide for sure. For now, I'll keep just announcing like a few streams out and then calling it good. I have had it wasn't even a particularly long day. Normally my Thursdays are going to be kind of long, but just first week I didn't have my lab yet, so that'll be starting next week. So it was a mostly mild day. I do gotta work out my parking situation. That's enough about that, though. I'm not here to talk about school, except when I am during school tangents, but that's beside the point. What I'm here for is to date cats. You heard me right. Date cats. Y'all, we've been through this before. Y'all know how this works. This is Perfect Date. It's a game where you go date cats. Also, there's nefarious secret plaguing this island, turning people into cats, elder cats. It's a lot of cat related stuff. Also, a shockingly large amount of misuse of experimental beauty products. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm sure we'll find out soon though. But yeah, that is currently this situation on Cat Island. There's actually another name for the island. I just can't remember it. It's like some non-colloquial name, but that they mention exactly one time. I just do not remember it at all. My mic's working, right? Yeah, okay. But yeah, we will be getting further and further into that throughout this stream. I did start this a little later relative to where I have been starting streams lately, still within my goal time frame. I've successfully, at the very least, brought streams back so that they're not starting at 8:30 all the time. But that does mean we have a little less time this time than we did last time to date cats. Guys, I promise this game is peak fiction. I promise. Yeah. How long did I go last time? I went about 3 hours, 16 minutes. We're going to be capped out at about 3 hours this time. And so goals for tonight, we're going to make it through at least one more chapter, if not one and a half, to 2. I think ideally we make it through at least like 1 3/4 of a chapter, because from what I understand about the ending, we will have the final chapter and then a bit extra after that. That's what it's seeming like at the moment. But that will be the topic for next time, since I don't think I'll be able to make it through all 3. I don't think I can make it through the rest of the game basically tonight. It'll be we'll be splitting the second half-ish of the game across the next 2 streams, which seems about right to me. A couple other things I wanted to say before we get started with regards to announcements. As I'm sure most of the people who watch me are aware, we got the Silksong release date today. That will be coming out on September 4th, which I am like unimaginably hyped for. Like I know my lead into that wasn't super like boisterous or joyful, but I am unimaginably hyped for that game to be released. I am at the moment leaning towards playing it on my own first. But that does pose one problem, which is that if at all possible, I would prefer to go on like a bit of an internet hiatus while I'm playing the game. I don't want any spoilers, and it is so easy with the way that social media algorithms are designed to get spoiled on new games these days. So that being the case, I almost want to just say, like, you won't hear from me at all for however long it takes me to beat Silksong. But the more, like, realistic part of my brain tells me that me beating Silksong is not going to be a short process. As much as I loved Hollow Knight, as excited as I am for Silksong, first off, this will be mid-semester for me. The amount of time I can spend on Silksong is going to be limited by my schoolwork. And the second important factor is I do generally like to experience games a little bit on the slower side. Like, I don't want to rush my way through them. So I would love to, at the very least, be able to keep streaming while I'm playing Silksong. But I will need to be, like, exceedingly careful about, like, making sure everyone's aware of chat rules regarding the game. And maybe you all think I'm being a bit too cautious there, but I really, really would like to see the game in its entirety before I get any details from the internet. So I'll keep brainstorming on that. That being said, I do expect that at some point you will see some Silksong content from me. It will likely be like challenge content at that point. Like, I might do some of the more challenge, kind of the way I did Hollow Knight content here on the channel, going for a lot of the more challenging achievements. Yeah, we're just talking about Silksong, Svirk, and what the plan is for the channel. I'm currently leaning towards not playing it myself on the channel, but I think I'll probably loop back around at some point for some challenge content, do some of the more challenging achievements and such on stream. But I want my first playthrough to be just on my own, if that makes sense. Perfect time to play Date Everything to avoid Silksong spoilers. You're so right, Abe. You're so right. It's such an easy fix. I can't believe I didn't think of it. But yeah, I will probably still be trying to do, like, streaming, even while I'm playing Silksong on my own. But I gotta be, like, I'm gonna like, pin comments, pin chats and comments and stuff like that. Do not spoil Silksong for me. I know everyone else is going to beat it faster than me. I just will not have enough time to really grind it out. So, like, In 14 days, nobody online will be able to get a hold of me. That's about right. Yeah. So I'll be working through Silksong as fast as I can, or as fast as I feel comfortable with. I don't want to overdo it or anything like that. But if I do end up streaming at all during the time when I'm playing Silksong, I gotta be so like dialed in on making sure I don't get spoilers. So there will be a brief moratorium on Silksong discussioning. They didn't specify a year. I saw someone make that comment, like, they did that on purpose. They were like, oh ho ho, Silksong, September, all we said is September 4th. It ain't over until they change the Steam release date. Which, by the way, still hasn't been updated. But yes, I am exceedingly fucking excited for that game. It has been a long time in the waiting for me. I got into Silksong. It might have been right around. Let me check my Hollow Knight achievements. I can't remember if it was right around when Silksong was announced or what. Yeah, no. Okay, so I think I started Hollow Knight late 2019, and then I finished it mid 2020 during the pandemic. So I've been perhaps not waiting as long as people who were on the Hollow Knight hype train from day one, but I've been waiting since for at least 5 to 6 years. My favorite part of Silksong was when Hornet said this truly was our Hollow Knight Silksong, and then skonged all over the place. Can't forget that part. You can't forget that part. But yeah, I'll be more clear about the expectations regarding Silksong as we get closer to it. But just to know that if I do end up having to stream before I'm done with the game, there will be a just full-on moratorium, do not even mention Silksong kind of rule on the channel, just to make sure that I don't get spoiled. Because otherwise I'm gonna have to take like a month-long, a two week to month-long break from streaming again just to finish Silksong. God, I play games slow. Anyways, let's get to the game I actually said I was gonna play tonight. Last thing I'm gonna mention is maybe the real Silksong was the Silk post we made along the way. Hello, Amy. Yes. Stream schedule, real quick. At the moment, this is what I'm planning. I'm not 1,000% sure on this, but this is what I'm planning. I am thinking we will do Persona 3 on Sunday. We will do our next 5B Golden Practice Attempt stream on Tuesday. And we will do our final Perfect Date stream a week from today on Thursday. Feeling super weehee line and tired, but kind of happy. Okay. It's not all negative in there. I think that's an all right mood to be in. But yeah, that's the current stream schedule plan. And then once Silksong comes out, who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? I won't be this stream because game's weird. Because this game weirds me out a bit. Aw, damn. I know this, guys, you gotta trust me. This game is good. I've been repping Perfect Date for years and no one will listen to me. Okay, let's go play the fucking game. That one was a bit on the weirder side, I will admit. You missed Trixie, though. Trixie's better. Trixie's just like a fucking crystal chick in cat form. Whatever the fuck that means. How many endings have we gotten? I think it's just... Yeah, we just got the 4 so far. I do remember what you've been sacked is like. I do remember how that one goes down from my original playthrough. You're stressing me out. Amazing. It is in fact a cat dating sim. Okay, you gotta trust me though. Like, there's also espionage. There's also a secret conspiracy. There's also ancient curses. The cat dating is just part of it. And I mean, like, the player character is turning into a cat anyways. Like, they have been afflicted with an illness that will turn them into a cat by the end of their particular route. So there's that dynamic at play too. Basically, the way this game functions is that you're a research assistant working with Professor Pawpur on Cat Island, and you basically get lured into this area where the elder cats live, and the elder cat bites you, and you get infected with this disease that will slowly turn you into a cat. Backs out a bit. That sounds cool. Slowly walking away. I promise you all this game is good. It's also just such a funny fucking meme. Alright, so you will notice at this point we have finished our first 3 chapters. Evangelical guy died today? Like the guy who made... Wait, what? Not... Who are you talking about? Because when you said evangelical guy, my freaking brain rotted ass immediately thought of Evangelion, and I was like, no, don't tell me, don't tell me my boy Hideaki Anno. Okay, James Dobson. All right, cool. I was really worried for a second, and it's entirely my fault. Okay, game. As you will see, we are 50% done with the antidote. Awesome, we're doing good. We are 3 out of 6 on cats. Awesome, we're doing good. We're ready to get started with chapter 4, basically. You've seen about 34.3% of the game, which is not as much as I thought. Call that a focus. Damn, right for the throat. So, in line with our previous, we're just going to go directly in order with all of these research assistants. This will be our 4th one. And we need a name. Anyone want to propose a name for this research assistant? CD is not here yet, so I bet he's not here to propose any crazy in-jokes, as much as I love those. No. As in this? I kind of feel bitch. Damn. This is what I get for asking chat. Oh god, let me see if I can come up with a friggin' deny the request, they don't get a name. My dude. Oh my god. Alright, here, let me see if I can't come up with anything. What to pick? I'm just gonna go with some crazy in-joke. What do we got? Wow. I don't have that many characters, I must confess. Include the typos. I literally can't. But you know what? I've got an idea. For the, in the spirit of generic, we'll call her Jenny. Anybody? Test subject. The 42's too low, by the way, Ace. I think we learn when we're on the island that we're already like over 100 on research assistants or something ridiculous. Jenny Eric. Can I fit that in? Agent 42. Oh my god. 230. I don't think we're that high. Jenny Eric. Should we do like... Hold on. It doesn't let you do multiple, like, so you can't do, like, you can't like capitalize two different things. It only gives you one. So you can do Jenny Eric. Alright. Jen Eric. Alright. Sure, why not? Feels a little mean, but whatever. Should I try and do like a Valley Girl accent for her, do you think? Should we go for like a... should I try and do like a Valley Girl type accent? I'm not like the best. She's a genetic anomaly, a member of the Gendicate. Most basic American accent possible? I don't know what that would be. The manager of general affairs. Why isn't CD in here for this pun action? Jesus. I also don't know what a basic what is a basic American accent? Could I imagine what? Oh no, I get it now. Could I imagine? Fucking shit. We're gonna go with the Valley Girl accent. I'm gonna try and do a Valley Girl accent just for funsies. What an amazing journey. I've always enjoyed being out on the open waters, and this was really smooth sailing. I almost skip off the wooden jetty to be greeted by a burly man in a security jacket. Not the best, but I'll make it work. The inflection is there. The actual pronunciation's not. ID. I rummage about in my bag until I find the laminated security pass I was issued on the mainland. Generic. God damn it. This is a read to win game. Which is to say it's a book. Every game is either a rhythm or a puzzle game. So I guess a real-time combat would be a rhythm game, and then JRPG, RPG turn-based combat's a puzzle game? Come on then, Skipper. Follow me. Luckily, this guy isn't the sociable type, so I can take in the sounds without distraction while we whiz along the forest path.
It looks so lush and green.
The boss isn't there.
Glad to have you on board, generic. Shall we just go through a few formalities and then call it a day? That way you can get some rest before you start work properly tomorrow.
Sounds good to me, sir.
God, my voice is so bad. Whatever.
So, first, shall we have a little refreshment? I have water, coffee, or something stronger perhaps, Jin.
I'm feeling water. I'm feeling water for...
A drop of water, perhaps?
Still or sparkling? We have both kinds. All natural, you know.
Either would be great, thanks.
I don't know what her voice is shifting. It's morphing. I know exactly what meme format you're quoting.
He hands me one of each. The rest of the day is taken up with procedural stuff, Professor Pawpur showing me around the island personally. It was nice to get to know him a little bit. He's rather eccentric, but in a nice way. The thing that stands out most is my catalogue.
What the fuck is this accent? This is so ass. I give up. This voice is gonna be what it's gonna be.
This technology is something else. I used it to scan some cats, but it can do so much more than that. The professor was most insistent that I keep it safe, which I intend to.
The tooth gap is killing me.
As I'm settling into my tent, I make a discovery that really catches my attention. It's a notebook that was obviously written by my predecessor. They've left it under my bed, which is good as an invitation to read it as far as I'm concerned. I think it may be a first draft of a novel, and it's not bad either. They certainly have a vivid imagination. There are bizarre stories about talking cats and other island anomalies. They were obviously very inspired by their surroundings. I must say, it's a great read. Imagine if it were true. I laugh at my little fantasy and as I snuggle down for my first sleep on Cat Island.
What is this voice? I literally don't know where this came from.
Sometime in the middle of the night, I'm awoken by an intruder in my tent. Before my brain can catch up with what's going on, I've leaped out from bed shouting, "Who's there?"
She's not a real person, she's AI generated. Fucking shit.
I scramble around for a few seconds before I realize the notebook has been taken. The next thing I know, I'm running through the forest barefoot chasing what looks like a cat. This is insane. A wave of nausea rises up in me and I realize I've become perilously close to the danger zone. Remembering the warnings in the notebook, I try to turn back but my legs give way under me. I close my eyes tight as I hit the ground.
What is this fucking accent? I don't even know. It's Trixie!
I open my eyes. A calico cat is standing in front of me. It drops the notebook from its mouth.
No, these names are this pun game is insane.
I pass out. I'm lying on the sand, surrounded by cats looking down at me.
Yeah, caught us a live one.
Move back, child.
Oh, McMurphy. I still don't remember how to do your voice. This is why I have a voice memo for you.
But Lily. Yes, let them breathe, or they won't be alive much longer. As my brain begins to defuzz, I realize this is what I was reading about in a novel. Only it wasn't a novel at all. My stomach tightens to a knot. It was a journal. I focus my eyes and pick out the big marmalade cat. Have I been bitten?
Well, of course you've been bitten. How else would you be able to hear us? This one's an idiot.
Don't be rude. The calico cat turns to me. You know about being bitten? You read it in the journal? Most of it. Enough to understand what's happening here, Carver? Enough to know you have a choice to make. I look from the cats to my scratched and bitten arms and back again.
This voice... I can't even deal with my own. Voice acting is hard, y'all. Like, actually coming up with convincing voices for so many characters is hard. I don't have the vocal range for a cast of characters this big. And let's be clear, it's kind of a big cast of characters. There's 6 major voiced cats, 6 major voiced assistants. We got Pawpur, we got Zane, we've got the ferryman and his son. We've got honestly, there's at least one character I remember who hasn't even like made a proper appearance yet. You know, Date Everything is fully voiced. I swear to God, Ace, you just come in here and rep Date Everything the entire stream. Oh my God. Date Everything. Probably buy it next time it's on sale. Developer. Yeah, I'll probably take a look at that eventually. Yeah, we'll help him.
Enough to know there's no choice. We have to help each other. Bravo, Kara. So let's cut to the chase.
We've already done the chase bit.
Hush now.
What do you need to know, human?
I'm still a bit dazed and in shock. Everything, really. At that moment, my catalog starts beeping. It's telling me I have 15 minutes to get back to camp and start my first day at work. I have to go. Let me get myself together and we can catch up later. I have a feeling you're going to do very well, Kara. The best one yet.
We don't even get to see the the previous one this time. Normally at the beginning of each chapter you see the previous assistant who has been turned into a cat. Who has been fully catified. We didn't get to see that this time.
I'm just about to enter the lab to begin with my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. It's a message without any contact information.
I don't remember. I did not even see what that said. Hold on. I'm gonna back up the VOD real quick, and then we'll make sure we know.
In calm water. In calm water. Water. In calm water. In calm water, every ship has a good captain.
There we go. Night in the Woods? Let me look up that one, too. Night in the Woods. An adventure... It's similar to Hollow Knight and Outer Wilds. You know? That, Here, we can add that to my wish list, just so I don't forget about it. And while we're at it, I don't usually wish list a ton of games, but let me go ahead and add Date Everything as well. Not that I freaking think I'm likely to forget this game, but, you know. Alright, they've both been added.
No, I've had just about enough mystery as a person could handle for one day. If you want to be anonymous, I shall take it to you. Also don't mind. I shall take it you also don't mind being ignored.
That'd be fun to tag team voice act. I have not played Night in the Woods, no. I've played probably less games than everyone might think. I play the games that I do play a lot.
The professor is already working when I arrive, but I'm not late, so there's no fuss.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like halfway between a Valley Girl and Hermione Granger. It's just dawned on me. Like, we're talking like first Harry Potter movie 1 Hermione Granger. Like very early Hermione Granger and like Valley Girl. That's what this voice sounds like in my head. Oh god, I hear it.
I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head back to my tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get to grips with...
It really came out in the I want to get a grip with finding out all I can. This is gonna be a good chapter, I can already tell. Ew, Harry Potter. I always find it funny, but like I feel like I never see Daniel Radcliffe's name is in anything that isn't like just unfathomably based. Like every so often you'll run across like a news article about Daniel Radcliffe and he's always just being like the chillest guy. There was a Tumblr post circulating years ago about like about Daniel Radcliffe literally helping someone out like after they got mugged. Who's gonna save you, Harry Potter? Daniel Radcliffe emerges from the shadows. Anyways, we're gonna start us off with 1 recon, I think. What do we have today? We got recon 8. I do need to be somewhat... Was looking forward. I didn't know there was a new Harry Potter show. Flat out, I had no idea. We're still doing those? That's the other thing. Why are we trying to extend the Harry Potter media empire? It was fine. It was a complete story already. Setting aside, like, not that we should set aside the author, but setting aside, like, my personal objections to the author who is directly benefiting from the continuation of Harry Potter as a media franchise. As a story, it did not need to be a media franchise. That's another thing I'll say. I do want to be very careful. Like, I completely fudged this last time, so I need to be very careful. Recon 8 is unlocked with your 4th character. 9 is unlocked by Recon 8, and then whichever cat we end up hanging out with will unlock the 3rd of those. So we should be fine still. As long as I just need to pay attention and make sure I'm not gonna lock myself out of anything. To be honest though, I think the recons are pretty fine. The research ones, however, you can get into trouble with those if you're not careful. It's a reboot? Hold the fucking phone. This is Harry Potter new show. A new Harry Potter television series is in production. That's an AI. Let's go find something else to look. Harry Potter TV series. Wikipedia seems good enough. It is based on the books. Is it just a remake? Spanning a decade as part of a faithful adaptation of the books. The movies were already a pretty faithful adaptation. What? Hold up. What? What do you mean a faithful adaptation? I didn't think the movies deviated that far from the books. I'm not gonna lie, I just looked at one of the like promotional images for this, and the actor they seem to like it's an image of the main 3 actors, and the guy they chose for Harry Potter, I swear to God, he's got like an overly plastic Mr. Beast smile. And I want to be very clear here. I don't think that's the actor's fault. I don't think that's the actor's fault in this case. It could be what the people who made the show requested, or it could be like digital touching up. Wow. That's really strange. I'm not sure if I really like the fact that this exists. In fact, I kind of explicitly don't like the fact that this exists. In no small part because I don't think it needs to exist. I cannot think of a single good reason why a reboot show of the Harry Potter series needed to exist. Yeah, I don't know. That really... Okay, let's play Perfect Date. Perfect Date, the actually more pleasant of these two things. In spite of what you might expect, the actually more pleasant... The more pleasant one. Uh-huh. Well, I will not be watching the reboot, I don't think. I can't imagine it's gonna be all that good. No flack to any of the actors, of course. Sure, plenty of them are nice people, but... Yeah, I don't think a show needs to exist. I think the original was a perfectly adequate adaptation of the books. Say what you will about the author, I certainly have. Anyways.
I've been devoting all the time I can spare to working on an antidote for the catification process. Although it's not an entire failure, progress is slow, and I'm concerned that I may be running out of time. It's time I did more tests on myself, to record how the virus is progressing in me, and what effects it's having on my body. That should give me some idea of how much time I have left before it becomes too difficult to hide the problem from other people. I'm sneaking around in the middle of the night because I can't risk getting found out by Professor Pawpur or the Marigolds. The only likely person to check up on what I'm doing at this hour is Zane, the security guard, and I'm confident he won't have a clue what any of this stuff means. I start by taking my own blood. Never an easy thing, but trying to find a vein when you're also trying not to look is very tricky indeed. It takes several missteps before I get it right, and I take as much as I dare without making myself feel woozy.
I made the mistake one time, quick anecdote. I had to get a toenail removed one time, like surgically removed, I guess you could say. The area underneath the toenail was getting too infected, so I just had to get it taken off. I made the mistake of watching the entire process. And it is, like, it's a lot more bloody than you might imagine. I don't want to get too gross here, but, like, I'm usually pretty, like, okay around blood. Like, it doesn't put me off too much. But I don't know what it was. I think it was just, like, seeing so much of my own blood during that procedure that I did just really start to feel nauseous by the end. Like, it was... And again, I usually don't get that woozy around blood. It's not usually a big issue for me. But this time, it really fucked with my head. So yeah, the blood can be... blood can be a bit odd. Especially when you're looking at your own blood, I guess, is the point I'm getting at.
I take saliva swabs from the inside of my mouth, inside my nostrils, in my ears, and finally from my groin area. I seal each swab in a tube and label them 007. Corny, I know, but it makes me smile. I'm also pretty certain no one will pay much attention to the numbers. Everything is numbered around here, so you tend to go blind to any number that isn't the particular one you're looking for. Next, I tweeze out individual hairs from my head, eyebrows, arms, legs, and groin. Each hair is prepared and placed under a microscope slide. Finally, I take clippings from my fingers and toenails. Some I prepare onto slides, some I put into test tubes for testing reactivity to various agents. I'm quite sleepy by the time I've prepared all my specimens, and I'm starting to think maybe I should freeze this lot and call it a night, when I hear something moving around outside. I go and poke my head out, but it's too dark to see anything. Hello?
It's getting more British. I think the moment I noticed the, like, Hermione Granger undertones, it got worse and worse.
Nothing. Is there somebody there? Do you want something? This place can be very creepy sometimes. The little diversion has made me feel much more alert, and with my second wind I decided to press on with my testing. I worked steadily for the next hour and a half before I can draw any conclusions. The short-term test results indicate that not much has changed from the last time I did this. Clearly, I'm not progressing very fast, which is a big relief. However, I can see some marked changes from before. Mostly, these are based on the rate of cell growth and movement within the nail clippings and hair samples. Everything is growing more quickly. I'm a little disappointed to not have seen anything more informative, but I remind myself to be careful what I wish for. I place the long-term tests at the back of the specimen fridge, and will check up on them in 24 hours. There's not much else I can do now. I clear away all the equipment. I clear away all the equipment I've used and leave the place in the exact condition I found it. Even Miss Marigold won't suspect I've been here. I'm just heading to my tent when I hear a noise coming from behind me, from inside the lab. I walk back and call from outside. Who's in there? Silence. I have security with me. I hear how ridiculous this sounds and curse myself for being idiotic. I walk into the lab, put the main light on, and I'm stunned to see the tests I put in the fridge out on the lab table. I have no idea what to do, so I just put them back in the fridge. This time I use the padlock on the fridge door. Nobody ever bothers with it. I've often wondered why it's even there. I don't want someone getting at my blood samples. I'm too freaked out to think straight now. I need to get to bed. I turn toward my tent, and there's a huge, dark outline of a man in my path. It's Zane. Evening.
Evening. Working?
Yup, doing security.
Yup.
Good night, Anne.
Good night.
As he turns to walk away, I catch him say, almost in a whisper,
There's a monthly stock take in the fridge tomorrow morning.
I turn to ask what he means, but he's already gone. I realize I'm being given a helping hand, so I go back to the fridge and get my samples. I'll take them to my tent and see if I can't grab some ice from the mess kitchen on the way.
So yeah, I'm getting the sense that Zane's actually kind of on our side. Or at least not as, not antagonistic towards us. Zane kind of don't give a shit what we do. I'm not gonna lie. Zane's kind of a chill guy. He's kind of a chill guy if you think about it. All right, onwards and upwards. Time for the romance part. We've got Kibbles and Mick Murphy. Anybody want to weigh in? y'all wanna weigh in on this? If not, I'd say we just get the ridiculous voice team out of here and just go ahead and do McMurphy, but God, Snooty Booty was... No, it wasn't Snooty Booty, it was Floofy Butt. What are they like? Mick Murphy is Irish and literally drinks a lot. Like, is just fucking expert. Like, has the best taste in alcohol kind of guy. And I actually don't remember Kibbles at all. Like, I flat out do not remember anything about Kibbles. Though, admittedly, my voice for Mick Murphy isn't very Irish, because I'm not very good at an Irish accent. But yeah, we've got Irish Stereotype and Kibbles, who I do not remember at all. I'm leaning towards Mick Murphy just to get the funny voices out of the way as quickly as possible, but I could be convinced otherwise if anyone who is watching at the moment has a strong preference. Okay, I'm gonna do my nails, so I'll shut up a bit. Alright. Have fun with your nails. Good luck, I hope they turn out well. We'll go with McMurphy.
Kara, wake up. Ha, Mummy, is that you? Shh, quiet, Kara. Come with me. I have something to show you, but you have to be quiet. McMurphy? Yes, it's me.
But it's the middle of the night. Can we confer, sir? I'm going door to door. No, wait, that's the fucking wrong one. A wrong song. Burr, you're a better lawyer than me. I know I talk too much. I'm abrasive. You're incredible in court. Succinct, persuasive. My client needs a strong defense. You're the solution. Who's your client? The new U.S. Constitution.
But it's the middle of the night. Ah, Kara, you're not scared, are you? Why would I be scared? Creeping around in the forest in the middle of the night? Don't worry, Kara. I'll be there to protect you.
Look at this. She's not having it. Generic is not having it.
McMurphy. McMurphy. You know very well that there's a force field around this island, stopping anything from the outside getting in. It makes this a pretty safe place. Indeed, the only things you have to worry about are the things that are already here. He leers at me with a mock snarl. Seriously, Murph, if you're the worst threat here, then this is the safest place on Earth. So come on, Kara, what are you waiting for?
Again, as I said, McMurphy will not be Irish. I cannot do an Irish accent.
I follow the scraggy cat into the forest. The ground is wet and muddy, and I lose my footing a couple of times. But McMurphy is too determined to notice. Suddenly, he stops dead in his tracks. Here we are. Where's here, McMurphy? He ignores my question and starts digging into some mud and leaves on the ground. Almost got it. Could use a hand, Kara, if you don't mind. Get these leaves out of the way. That's it. Here we are. Okay. We keep digging until there's a fairly deep hole in the ground. My arms and nightclothes are covered in mud and leaves, and McMurphy looks like a bog monster in the darkness. Ta-da! Ta-da! Can't you see it, Kara? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I always forget how human eyes are in the dark. Just reach into the hole and take out whatever you find. I reluctantly reach into the burrow and feel something hard and cold against my hand. I wrap my fingers around it and pull it out. I know the shape, but my eyes can hardly process it. Hey, it's a bottle. That's right, Kara. This is my secret stash. No one knows about it, not a soul, but I thought I'd share it with you. Thought we could have a kind of welcome to the island party for two. Secret stash. Is this Bears?
that was oddly enough probably the best line of the voice I was actually trying to do here, but
McMurphy lets out a wild laugh. That it is, Kara? You drink alcohol, but you're a cat. That can't be good for your body. It's not good for anybody's, but it does wonders for the soul, to be sure. Well, I suppose you're right there, Miss Murphy. I guess one little nip couldn't hurt. That's the spirit. I try in vain to get some of the mud off before giving up and sitting down against a tree. A sodden McMurphy curls up in my lap. Fucking shit. Sometimes I can't with this fucking game. It takes a while to uncork the bottle. McMurphy keeps telling me to smash it open and that the shards of glass will only add to the flavor, but eventually I succeed my way. I pour a little out for McMurphy into a leaf and self-consciously swig from the bottle, feeling a touch uncivilized. Ugh, McMurphy, what in the heaven's name is this? Oh, now don't worry about that, Kara. It's not about the taste, it's about the company. I hardly think I'm the type of person you'd usually hang around with. Well, I usually hang around with cats, and they're not exactly what you call my type. I respond by widening my eyes. I take another swig from the bottle. Somehow it tastes less terrible the second time around. I find humans much more interesting. They usually have a lot to say, present company accepted. McMurphy winks at me with his huge green eyes, and I blush, desperately trying not to show how boring I feel compared to him. Don't take it harsh, I'm only joking, Kara. McMurphy, I've been meaning to ask you for something for a while now. I can't, these voices are so bad. These voices are actually so horrendous. They're actually so bad. This is what happens when Leorgters runs out of voices. We get shit like this. Anything, Kara, ask away. I'd love for us to get to know each other better. This Kara thing, you know my name is. The rest of my sentence is drowned out by McMurphy's howls of laughter. Ah, you make me laugh, Kara, you really do. I know exactly what your name is, generic. Kara is just, it's like a pet name, you know? Kara means friend, buddy, amigo. It's something my mommy used to call people and it just stuck. It's one of the few things I remember about her, actually. That and her beautiful smile. Hey, flash me your pearly whites. I smile at McMurphy awkwardly. He bursts into fits of laughter again. Ah, that's a lovely smile to be sure, but you need to grow into it yet. Could I have a top up over here? Ah, I don't know if I feel comfortable giving you any more alcohol, McMurphy. I think you've had more than enough. In fact, I didn't even want to give you any in the first place. Did you not know that cats have 9 lives? And you want to waste them all on bows? And why not? Besides, the night's still young, and we've only just begun our conversation. Come on, Kara. We've got a lot of chin wagging to do yet. Are you gonna pour or not?
The question is, do we acquiesce or do we put our foot down with McMurphy? Yeah, no, we go cheers. Cheers it is.
Chaz. Part of me thinks I ought to be a responsible human here and cut off your alcohol supply, but I believe in a true democracy. Would you care to expand on that, and perhaps pour the drinks as you go? The true democratic principle that none shall have power over the people, cats, whatever.
I don't think she knows what democracy is. I don't think that's what
How inspirational. I'll toast to that. Alright, McMurphy, but on your head be it. For with the rejection of authority comes the responsibility for bearing the consequences of your actions. I pour some more of the suspect liquor into McMurphy's soggy leaf. Slinte. I don't know how things work in cat protocol, but in human terms, you are very mature. No wait, very grown up. Adult? Oh, fiddlesticks. You're over a certain age, and as such can take responsibility for your own choices. I like it. Spoken like a true libertine. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I can shake my tail when I feel the vibe. I can't believe I just said that. This stuff is stronger than it looks. My proverbial hat is off to you. I feel disproportionately pleased that Murph has paid me a compliment. Say, Kara, have you ever been in love? McMurphy, that second leaf has gone straight to your head. The cat smiles slyly. I'm gonna take that as a yes. Are you still with them? Well, I was never technically with them to begin with. Ouch, well, it's definitely their loss. Oh, I don't think so, McMurphy. We never actually met. Ah, you're not one of those, internet stalker types, are you? Them catfish that Kibble tells tales of?
Kibble? Oh my god, I forgot. Isn't Kibbles like a weeaboo or something? Disco Elysium ask political talk. I fucking love Disco Elysium. That game is goated.
Now, McMurphy, gosh. Was Bowie okay? I was in love with David Bowie, you know.
Wait, what? The fucking quote. That line fucking blindsided me. I did not expect that. What?
McMurphy frowns and shakes his furry head.
This fucking This fucking character portrait.
See these eyes so green I can stare for 1,000 yards, you know? Oh, that's a charming song, but I'm afraid I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, come on, McMurphy. Everyone knows who David Bowie is. Red hair, lots of makeup, one blue eye, one brown eye. Well, I did know one sweet soul with a blue eye and a brown eye, but I can assure you, they wouldn't be got dead in makeup.
Are women bourgeoisie? Yeah, fuck it, why not? The women are the bourgeoisie. I guess. I don't know.
McMurphy snorts. Well, what about you, McMurphy? Who's the love of your life?
Guess I'll die then. Honestly, peak response.
Don't have one cara, never have, never will. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a free agent. I'm a big old yeti out in the mountains, all hairy and smelly and alone. For some reason, I find that very hard to believe, Mr. McMurphy. Fine, you're right. I'm a fool, a lovesick fool. I've had my heart broken more than once, Gara, and each time hurt more than the last, I tell you. The thing is, though, Gara, I can't remember a thing about any of them. Any of what? I don't know. What were we talking about? David Bowie. Oh, that's right. So tell me how the two of you met. McMurphy, I think I'm drunk. What the hell have we been drinking? Oh, leave me alone. I haven't touched a drop. I think I'm gonna vomit. I wake up in the forest with a half-empty bottle in my hand, and McMurphy is nowhere to be seen. How the hell did I get here? I can't remember a thing. I look at my catalogue. Oh, is that really the time? Crikey, I need to get to work.
Hit him with a crikey, I need to get to work. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Research. So all of them are available from the get-go this time, which is good. Let me go make sure I know what I'm doing. Research 2, yep. Research 8 is the follow-up from last time. And what was the final research we had? 11? So 2 and 11 unlock with 4th character. 8 is a continuation from 7 last time. I'll do 8 maybe a little later in, because 7 was kind of serious, actually. Yeah, tagging and scanning, this seems like a good place to start.
Hey, kitty kitty. I'm out on tag and search rotation. The sun is beginning to set and the beach is cooler. This is hunting time, so in theory more cats will be drawn out from their hidey holes. The other time for tagging is midday when they're at their laziest, but I find the heat too intense to come to this part of the island at that time. Something catches my eye and leads me into the forest. Oh, here, kitty.
What was I doing for Kibbles?
Just me.
Oh, hi, Kibbles. How's it going?
Oh, God. To Night of the Living Cat? Is it? Maybe. What's Night of the Living Cat? Night. How did you spell that? Night of the... Huh. Fuck it, we'll go with that. Yeah, sure, why not?
You find it.
Wait, hold on.
You find it. Oh, what's that thing?
Kibbles is already eyeing my chipping pen.
Looks like a weapon. Is it a weapon?
No. Well, kinda. Do you want me to show you how it works? Kibbles give me an exasperated look.
How dumb do you think I am, human?
Look, you'd be doing a huge favor if you just let me use this thing on you.
Oh yeah?
Yes, I don't think I can actually tag you twice, and I need all the practice I can get.
Well then, catch me if you can.
I hear a nya echo through the forest as Kibbles seems to disappear before my very eyes. Impressive! How'd you do that, Kibbles? Come back, I won't shoot you, okay? I'll even let you go if you can show me how you disappeared so fast. He won't come back now. The new voice. Who is this? This isn't like the person from last time, is it?
He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Am I, like, fucking losing my mind? I feel like this must be one of the cats from last time. But I don't remember what voices I gave anyone. Maybe, was it the guy from last time? Maybe? We hung out with... Okay, we started with Floofy Butt, right? I think. Yeah, we started with Floofy Butt. No, so it's not her. Is it the third guy, maybe? Nope. I actually don't know who the fuck this is. This is just some random cat.
I turned to see a mid-sized brown-haired cat scratching at the trunk of a tree. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. I don't think we've met before. My name's...
I know who you are, Turndale. The island is buzzing with news about you.
Turntail, what does that mean?
It's a her. Okay. Shit. You know what? No. We're gonna keep doing that voice.
I realize I'm going to have to scan him. Kibbles leaps from nowhere and pins the new cat to the floor.
Shoot her! Yeah!
Oh, sorry. This won't hurt. It's for your own good. It's so we make sure you stay safe and healthy, and I seize my opportunity and move fast.
Cat Yuri? You can do Cat Yuri in this game, actually. It's pretty easy. Like, you get three male, you get 3 male, fucking research assistant and 3 female research assistant. And so you can, and there's 3 male cats, 3 female cats, and you can pair them up however you want.
I've already grabbed the scruff of her neck, and before I finish speaking, I pressed the pen between her shoulder blades and released the microchip. There, all done. Wasn't so bad, was it?
Whoa, awesome. Can I shoot the next one?
I doubt that, Kibbles. I wiggle my thumbs in his direction.
Aw, man. I gotta get me some of those.
Can I get up now? I have things to do.
Kibbles. He remains pinned to the other cat. I reach for the spray bottle in my pocket, and he leaps away with a laugh. Off you go then. Do your things. Anything I can help you with?
No, just duties. Duties, duties, duties. Must get everything done.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to enter data for you into this catalog. How about we call you B?
B.
Because you're so busy. Busy B. Look, B, it would be good if I could get you to come to the camp to check you over and make note of your details. If you want to drop by when you're free, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll have to come back with a cat carrier. Not so great.
I'll come by. I know the place.
The cat slinks off. Do you know her, Kibbs? Kibbles emerges from his hiding place in a tree.
Yeah, I know her.
Is she okay? She seems a bit unhappy.
Oh, she's fine. She's just like you is all.
Like me? What do you mean?
You're the scientist, you work it out.
Kibbles vanishes again.
Damn, guaranteed at least one straight couple? Well, no, I feel like you can do it all gay couples. Because there's exactly as many female cats as there are female people, and exactly as many male cats as there are male people. Hello, did I say hello, CD? I can't. I'm a little scattershot at the moment. Do we have any extras to do now? When will we unlock more extras? We got the pirate one super early on, but we haven't seen anything else since then. Though I do wonder, we might have unlocked the pirate one a bit earlier than we were supposed to. You only said it once? Alright, cool. I mean, I saw your message when I started responding to Ace's message, and so I think I was thinking I might have quickly said hello before I responded to Ace, but I think I only said it once, so I think we're fine. We're fine. How are you doing this evening, CD? You haven't missed too much. I haven't gotten too far into this route yet. I've given this protagonist just a really strange voice.
Now, let me see. Is that everything I need? I refer to my mum's recipe. Nana's original granola, amended by Mum. Large rolled oats, 4 mugs. Pumpkin seeds, half a mug. Sesame seeds, half a mug. Sunflower seeds, half a mug. Walnuts, roughly chopped, handful. Flaked almonds, half a mug. Pecans, roughly chopped, handful. Dried apricots, roughly chopped, handful. Dried cherries and cranberries, half a mug. Banana chips, half a mug. Sunflower oil, 2 tablespoons. Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. Salt, 1 pinch. Honey, 4 tablespoons. Coconut shavings to garnish.
Black Swan. I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen much about it yet.
Oh wait, did I forget to order the coconut? I rummaged about in the supply box that arrived this morning, until my hands found the bag they're searching for. Phew, coconut shavings are a necessity. Wait, even if I had forgotten them, I'm on an island with an abundance of fresh coconuts. Still getting used to island life. I set the oven to 150 degrees Celsius and leave it to heat up while I measure out the rolled oats. I've quadrupled the quantity so that hopefully it will last the whole summer. It seems vast compared to how much I make at home, but it would be disastrous if I ran out. Homemade granola is an absolute essential. I mix the dry ingredients together in a large bowl, and then I add the wet, to form a golden moist consistency. I've actually added a splash more oil than suggested. The mixture was feeling a bit drier than usual. Next, I spread it evenly on a baking tray and lined with parchment, partially to save the washing up, and whack it in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes, checking often because the seeds tend to brown quicker than I expect. The smell always drives me crazy. Toasty, warm, homey. I miss my mum. Once done, I add the fruit and as it dries and cools, and put it into several large glass storage jars, being sure to stuff fistfuls into my mouth as I do.
Granola making rest event? Pop off, queen, I guess. And yes, this is the most pretentious Starbucks drinking white girl voice you've ever done. It's gone through phases. Early on in working out this voice, it sounded just a little bit like Hermione Granger. But like first Harry Potter movie Hermione Granger, specifically. It was a little odd. And we're doing McMurphy. I just paired up the two people with the weirdest voices together and called it a day.
I'm sweltering in the mess tent. Typical for me to get cook duty on the hottest day so far. I step outside for a moment to try to catch some air. Wingardium Leviosa. It's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa. It's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa.
Is she resisting the virus because of her antigens? It's just kind of a slow-acting virus. Like, the idea is it takes most of the 2 months that each research assistant is here to get fully catified.
Psst. I'm not sure if I really heard something, or if the dehydration is getting to me. I take a swig from my water bottle. Hey, aren't you gonna share, Kara? Oh, McMurphy, was that you, Psting? What are you suggesting, Kara? I only use the designated little areas. Murph, you are incorrigible. You know exactly what I meant. Come on, Kara, never mind all that. We have work to do. I am working. I'm supposed to be cooking for this evening. I mean work of the adventuring variety. Oh, of course you do. Oh, come on, don't be such a bore. I'm sorry, McMurphy, but I can't. I'm very busy here. It's going to take hours to defrost and braise this meat from the mainland. But if you come with me, you may end up providing a much tastier dish in half the time. What do you say, Kara? You up for the... Craig? What the fuck is that word?
Oh, the antigens. Son of a bitch. I keep missing them, even though these puns are like some of the most obvious things I've ever seen. The only time I saw Harry Potter was in the 5th grade, and that's like the main thing I remember from the movie. That's so fair. I was a pretty big Harry Potter nerd back in like my middle school and high school days. I read the entire book series, and I do mean the entire book series. All million or so words of it in like, I think it was 2.5 weeks was the fastest I ever did it. But yeah, 2.5 weeks for the entirety of the Harry Potter series, which is over 1 million words. And that is not something I can pull off anymore. Like, not even slightly. I simply do not, my attention span has been too short. I get distracted too easily. It's not even that I can't read that fast anymore. I do not have the focus anymore for that.
What are you saying? You mean I should just bunk off? There's the spirit. Strip off your apron and let's hit the trail. But I can't just. What if someone comes looking for me? Leave him a note. Gone fishing. Maybe it's the heat, but I'm overcome with the moment of madness. Well, okay then, you wild Irish rover. I'm all yours. Oh, now there's a thought. Before I can answer, he's slunk into the thickening of the forest behind the clay cooking pits. I whip off my apron and follow behind.
Instead of reading Harry Potter once, I instead reread Percy Jackson Capture Underpants. I read Percy Jackson. I was never really able to get access to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books because they weren't ones that my parents would buy for me. They were always checked out at the school library, so I couldn't get a hold of them. There's like a freaking wait list a mile long. I've actually since read a few of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Missed out on peak. I do quite enjoy them, the ones that I have read. Well, the early ones. I've also read some of the more recent ones, and those ones are a bit more hit or miss. Like, I read the, like, Island Vacation one that came out a few years back. I don't know how many few years back, but I did read that one. Go to, like, an island or something. That one was alright. The Getaway? Yeah, no, that sounds about right, CD. It was funny because, like, I don't remember it being, like, a super memorable book, but I feel like there's at least 1 or 2 memes that have come from that book specifically. Greg is an asshole. A little bit, yeah.
Wait, Nev, it's too hot to run. Then we really ought to cool ourselves off, eh? He's lugged me out to the cliffs and without warning takes a running jump off the edge. I see him flying through the air and watch mesmerized as he cuts through the water. Oh no, Murphy, are you okay? Don't panic, I'm coming. I kick off my flip-flops and shorts and follow him into the water. I'm surprised at how shallow it is and that I'm easily able to stand. Marv, where are you? I frantically search about, fearing for his safety, and suddenly feel something brush against my legs, making me scream out loud. What's that? I look down into the clear water, and see McMurphy, speeding along the seabed like a shark, fast and sleek, and suddenly breaking up through the surface with something in his mouth. McMurphy, you can swim? What on earth is that thing? Oh my, it's a fish! I can see he's smiling even with the sprat in the way. You can fish? You can fish?
That would be closer to the like. They do such fucking in the accent. Like I'm trying to do like a vaguely Valley Girl accent, right? It's not work. Mind you, it's vague. It's not working super well. It's not working super well. But that's what I'm attempting to do. And they do some funky stuff with the vowels in that accent. Like, that's one of the things I notice the most when I hear, like, speech in that accent, is just how funky they get with those vowels.
He spats the fish back into the water. There's truly no ends to my talents, Kara. You can say that again, but I have so many questions, I don't even know where to start. Catch your breath, Kara. I know I'm exhilarating company, but you need to exercise a little bit of restraint, or you'll be swooning on me now. Relax, the salt water is very buoyant. I copy McMurphy, and we both lie with our backs on the surface. It's very calming and tranquil, and I'm finally able to collect my thoughts. I realize I've not had this much clarity in a long time. This is so cool. I know, Trixie took me here first, calls it the pond pool. Oh, can you all this swim then? I thought cats. Before I can even finish my sentence, McMurphy cuts in. It's a common misconception that cats can't swim. As you can see, it's another thing we excel at.
That's the thing. That's the thing. If you're really a cat fan, if you're really a cat person, you know that cats can swim. If you really went through that awkward cat phase back in 5th grade, not that I'm speaking from experience or anything like that. If you really went through a phase where you were just downright obsessed with cats back in 5th grade, you know that cats are fairly agile swimmers. Or at least a large percentage of them are.
So humble too. As Nana McMurphy used to say, if you got a trumpet, blow it. What about a fish? Where did they come from? There are no birds or fish on this island. It's one of the first things they tell you in orientation. That's just because they don't know. Don't know what? Ah, it's better if I just show you. Come on, Kara, follow me. We swam for a while, with McMurphy leading the way with purpose, and then he stops. Well, notice anything interesting? Well, the water is much cooler and deeper here. Anything else? Can you feel anything? I stand perfectly still for a moment and begin to feel a strange sensation around my legs, like a warm trickling under the water. McMurphy, are you peeing? Don't be so crude, Kara. It's a current. Look over there. I refocus my eyes until I see that what I thought was a rock shadow is moving. It comes closer into focus, and I realize it's a small shoal of small fish darting in and out of one particular spot. What is that? I don't understand what I'm looking at. Isn't it enough just to see, Kara? To experience? Do you always have to understand everything? Well, yes, that's my job. It's who I am, McMurphy. I am a scientist. It's in my DNA to seek to understand. Come on then, scientist, let's take a closer look.
The hex stream when under... I swear to God, every time Ace is in stream, I get like a dozen new video game recommendations. And as much as I want to lock in and play a bunch of these, I simply do not know. Like, I get around to shit so slow. I'm so slow at playing games. Under Hero would be forced to fund a voice act. Under Hero. Interesting. I do quite like this art style. An RPG platform where the chosen hero has failed, and an underling of the evil king takes his place as the new hero. Okay. Gotcha.
I can touch them and even pick them up, but something is stopping them from swimming further inland. McMurphy, we need to get going. I'll be in trouble if I'm away any longer, but thank you for showing me this. I'm definitely going to come back here to try and understand it. I wouldn't waste your time, Kara. It wouldn't be a waste. I'm committed to finding out all I... He cuts across me as I'm speaking. I meant coming back to this particular spot. The fishes won't be here. Oh, I see. It's only at certain times. In different locations. It changes all the time. There's no pattern to it either. So you just be sticking pins in maps, Kara. I brought you here because I saw them this morning. Chances are they'll be gone by this afternoon. The disappointment must be apparent on my face because McMurphy switches lanes super fast to distract me. Okay, Kara, it's time to strip off. What the fuck does that mean? Ha! That t-shirt would make a lovely net. Let's go fishing. Oh, I see.
I own Spiritfarer already. It's on my list of ones I really want to play. But I just, again, haven't got around to it yet. Is it another one that I'm going to need to do a ton of voice acting for? Because I was originally, originally I was just planning on doing that one by myself, but... Okay, I gotta get yawn. Go fishing is clearly the right answer here.
I whip off my top and use it as a net to scoop up as many fish as possible. It's quite effective. Great idea, Math. Now you can rustle up a tasty fish supper in no time at all. And you get to enjoy my company for an extra hour. A win-win, Kara.
A good bit, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure Spiritfarer is a game that I'm really going to like. So it's been on my list for a while.
Okay, so now I have a little challenge for you. That, Kara, is music to my ears. There's little more I like than a gauntlet thrown. Well, it's hardly a gauntlet, more like a brain teaser. How am I going to explain it to the rest of my team, this bountiful ocean offering? Why tell them anything at all? Because they're going to notice we're eating something that wasn't on the delivery list, or the menu rota, and tastes way too fresh for something recently defrosted. You worry far too much about things that don't really matter, Kara. I know he's right. I could do with a little loosening up, but this is a pretty big dilemma, really. Maybe I ought to tell Professor Pawpur about this. What's the harm? Mac has stopped splashing around and looks me squarely in the eyes. There would be harm, Carl. Trust me on that. Obviously, I don't mean I'd tell him about you, or anything that would endanger any of us. Just that I noticed this shoal of fishes and took some, and up. You really think you could mention a phenomenon like this, and that would be the end of it? That he wouldn't stop putting all manner of investigations and disruptions in place? You are touchingly naive, my friend. I feel myself blush. I am being a bit naive, but I don't like the thought of lying. So what do you suggest then, if you know so much about everything? Give me a plausible story and I'll follow through. McMurphy lets out a wild howl and splashes water at me. Now that's what I like to hear, you impetuous daredevil, you. I slash him back, and a furious water fight ensues. For making such a ruckus, I'm amazed no one comes to check out what's going on. After a good 10 minutes of laughter and play, we run out of steam and float in the buoyant warm water. Let's hear it then, Oz. What's my cover story? It's a very simple case of brazen bluffing. Okay. Make a simple but delicious meal, and if anyone should ask where the fish came from, shrug your shoulders and ask the same question. Ha! It's all in the poker face. You remain completely impassive and ask the same question. Yeah, I wondered that too. Where did the fish come from? They're delicious. Really? Trust me, Carl. As a cat who is forever risking one of his 9, the simpler you keep it, the more they buy it. If they ask you where you got it from, you tell them the fridge. Simple. I feel quite giddy at the prospect of getting away with the ruse. Okay, Matt, let's gather the supper. We have an abundance in no time, and I haul my couch back to the kitchen in good time to make a tasty meal for everyone, and a little extra for my feline pals.
My first day of classes was today indeed, CG. I saw that message earlier. I just wanted to get through this before I mention it. It was the first day. Orientation, course overview, a few early bits of information, but nothing too much. Besides, I only had 2 classes today. I have 2 classes in a lab Tuesday and Thursday, and I have 4 classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday right now. Though, to be honest, the lab, as I feared, looks like it will be just a freaking insane amount of work. Like a frankly ludicrous quantity. And so I might need to drop one of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. I just need to decide whether or not I want to give up on partial differential equations or intro to probability theory. It's funny. Like I've gotten far enough into like the upper division math classes at this point that I see people start to like panic at the mere like mention of some of these classes. DiffyQ, yeah. But this time it's partial differential equations. For those, okay. And I'm gonna give like a 30-second like idea of how this works. For those who aren't aware, in calculus, when you take a derivative, all you're doing is trying to find a function that describes the slope at each point in the original function. So you start with a basic function, and there are a lot of tools you can use to find a different function that describes basically just how steep the function is at every point along its axis. Differential equations are equations where you have a function and one of its derivatives in the same in the same equation. And the point of a differential equation is to solve for the original function. So you're looking for functions that satisfy some condition, and that condition is an equation that includes both the original function and its derivatives. That's the idea behind differential equations. Partial differential equations is an extension of that revolves around partial derivatives. And a partial derivative occurs when you have a multivariable function. So you have a function that's in like, instead of just like y equals something x, it's got like it's got an x, y, and z to it. So it's useful when you've got like field equations and big like 3-dimensional things you need to solve. A partial derivative happens when you take the derivative with respect to only one of the variables. And so partial differential equations are obviously a lot harder to solve because you're trying to deal with partial derivatives in your solutions instead of just a standard derivative. So partial differential equations is not only, yes, more DiffyQ, it is harder and more high concept DiffyQ. So it is definitely a bit of a doozy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of that will get across to anyone, but that's the idea. Yes, of course. Ew. Accurate, Ace. Accurate. That is, in fact, the correct response. But as I said, like, they are especially useful when you're dealing with like electromagnetic field equations, because you gotta like have a way to solve for these equations. Now, I should also mention like Newton's laws, right? One of the big famous ones, Newton's second law, F equals ma. That is not how it would have appeared in like Newton's original notes. Newton's second law is actually a differential equation. It's basically saying that the double time derivative with respect to x times mass is equal to the force. And so it's basically, it's got that the original form of Newton's second law has a derivative built into it. It's expressed with regards to the derivative rather than giving that derivative a name, acceleration. Though technically, I think the original way he phrased it was momentum times velocity. So momentum times the first time derivative of... Is it momentum? There's another form of it. I think it is momentum. But again, yeah. It's a weird one. But again, these differential equations arise naturally when you're dealing with a lot of physical systems, especially like electric field equations or any field equations for that matter. And you have to know in order to solve them how to deal with partial differential equations. So it is important to know, technically speaking, partial differential equations isn't necessary for my particular degree path, but it would reinforce a lot of the concepts. And I'm also looking into getting a minor in math or a second major in math anyways. So there's plenty of reasons for me to be taking the class. Oh, sorry. I know that's long-winded, and not everyone really wants to hear about math, I have learned. I am a bit of a math nerd myself, but not... most people don't want to hear about math. I fear. And I do think, in a way, that's because, like, math can definitely be kind of hard to communicate, so, I do just struggle sometimes, as much as I enjoy it, to figure out how to, like, convey what I find interesting about math to people who aren't already interested in math. It's a dilemma for sure, because I feel like I feel like a big problem with modern day academia is that we really struggle to, like, communicate to people who aren't in an academic field, like, the importance and, like, the actual truth of the methodology and stuff like that, because you get a ton of misinformation going around, which I think is in part perpetuated because, like, there is, in a lot of situations, there's a lack of good scientific communication. As someone who doesn't know Diffie-Q, I was able to follow the explanation. I'm glad. I'm very glad for that, because sometimes I struggle to get that point across. So I'm glad that at least made some amount of sense. Because that has been something I've been trying to work on, like, actually being able to communicate, like, both why I find these things important, or why I find these things interesting, and why they are important to... Yeah, kind of, actually. Yes, actually. That's a decent way to think about it. Yeah, you're just kind of, like, back-solving for the original equation. You know the form it takes. You know the form it should take after it has been differentiated some number of times, and you're trying to reverse engineer it back to the original problem. So that is the point of a differential equation. Regardless, though, I'm playing a cat dating sim, and I'm on some fucking physics tangent. I should probably get back to the cat dating sim. I've been a little distracted tonight, I fear. So we have Recon 9, and then our final Recon should unlock after the 4th, like, romance event. Alright, here we go. I know my morning alarm is ringing, but I can barely lift my eyelids. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to today or dreading it. I've promised to go in 2 hours early to help with the monthly inventory and deep cleanse of the lab. It's not what I'm anxious about, but the fact that I'm doing it with the marigolds. They're an odd pair. They certainly don't say much, and I often feel that they're judging me. I quite often feel they're judging me. Oh well, the sooner I get there, the sooner it'll be over. As I approach the lab, I can hear their voices rage in stage-type whispers. They're obviously having a row they don't want anyone else to hear. I loiter around. I'll loiter around 15 minutes or so. We won't do anything, we'll just loiter around 15 minutes or so. I'm not nosy, just curious. Oh, shit. I can't. Gordy Greep has personally ruined the word loiter for me. Thank you, Jordy. Jordy. However you pronounce your name.
It's a cat, Mason, okay? A cat! All it cares about is sleeping and eating.
It's still a living thing, Mara.
A living thing? It's glorified vermin is what it is. You're putting us at risk. He isn't the sort of person to mess with, Mason. Loyalty to the company is #1 priority in their eyes.
I have been loyal. It's my allegiance that's changing, not my loyalty.
Do you know how ridiculous you sound? Allegiance to who? A bunch of cats?
Mara, you know they're not just cats.
You knew when we signed our contract.
Not fully. It's different anyway in real life, living with them, knowing them.
Knowing them?
You know what I mean.
I know if you mess this up, we'll be destitute at best. I feel I can't put this off any longer. Good morning.
Ah, you're here.
I'm not late, am I?
Not at all. We were just discussing how to proceed.
I exchanged glances.
You two can get... How do I want to do her voice? You two can get on with the stock check. Leave the sanitation to me.
Sounds good to me. Where do we begin, Mr. Marigold?
Call me Mason. I have the list here, so I'll call the item and you tell me how many we have.
Okay, Mason. And if I'm in your way, just let me know, Miss Marigold. Yes, I'll be sure to. But if we each mind our own business, well, I'm sure it will all work out fine, dear. The tension in the air is tangible. This could be a very long 2 hours. We start with the top shelf, the large metal cabinet.
Standard test tubes.
20 boxes.
Petri dishes.
10 boxes, mixed sizes.
Beakers, large.
25.
Beakers, medium.
20.
Only 20. That's a bit low. Have we had more breakages than usual?
I decide not to tell him that I sometimes use them as tea mugs, and there are at least 3 in my tent growing mold as we speak. Yes, we've been a bit clumsy lately. I know one was knocked off the counter by McMurphy this week. Nothing but trouble, them cats. Mr. Marigold continues with the stock take, as though he didn't hear his wife. We move on to the next shelf and the next until we've almost finished the entire inventory. We are coming to the end of the drugs cabinet.
Ketamine, 50 mil.
8 bottles.
That can't be right. It says here we normally stock 30.
See for yourself. 2, 4, 6, 8.
You use a lot of that, then?
No, on the contrary. I mostly just use it for anesthesiizing. We rarely do that kind of surgery.
Well, that's a mystery.
I wonder what it could be being used for. You two will be a lot quicker if you stick to your counting and leave the wandering up to the professor. We finished the rest of the job without any unnecessary chat. We all seem to be deep in our own thoughts. Mine are about where that amount of ketamine might be disappearing to, and for what purpose. Suddenly I don't feel so good.
Not super sure on the Marigold. I actually, I have a decent, there were lines during that where I was pretty confident with the Marigold's voices, but not, whole passages, I fear.
It's too beautiful a day to be slaving in a hot lab. So when Murph invited me for a stroll, it was easy to say yes. Not that I'd need much incentive to spend time with him. He's very engaging company.
Did I listen to an album today? No, I decided not to actually today. I got in my car and I wasn't quite feeling it. So I actually just listened to Imaginal Disc on the way up to class. Though I think it is, I I listened to a different album on the way back. It was the Quero Quero Bonito album. And I've been thinking a lot lately. I think it is almost time to change my Discord status. And I think it's going to be to a line from the Quero Quero Bonito album. It's been the current line for a while. I'm probably going to keep the current, like my current bio the same. I don't feel the need to change that one, but I will probably change my status to something new. We've come to one of my favorite spots, where the cliffs sweep upwards above the blue water. Suddenly, and then suddenly, and without a warning. Have y'all seen those videos that it's that one like trio of like people who do like news combined with like musical comedy kind of thing, and like at the end of every video they say, and suddenly, and without warning. Badu. Badu. I can't do it very well, but it's a group of shorts creators that pop up in my feed fairly often. Suddenly, and without any warning, McMurphy plunges over the top of the towering rocks. I run to the cliff's edge, with my heart in my mouth to see what's happened. And there is a sight I still haven't gotten used to. He's in the water, more otter than cat, waving me to follow. Jump, Cara, jump! Show the water's grand. McMurphy? I'm shocked by the shrillness of my voice. I hadn't intended it to be quite such a shriek. I was aiming for stern admonishment. That's so dangerous. You could do yourself serious injury, or worse, expelled. You could get yourself killed, or worse, expelled. You could do yourself serious injury, or worse, from such a height. Oh, Bish, come on, Gara, or you won't get to see the little surprise I have in store. You've already surprised me enough for one day. Ha! Which one of us is... This line is so fucking goofy. Ha! Which one of us is meant to be the pussy? At this, I'm filled with an indignance that takes over my body, and before I know it, I'm halfway between ledge and water, bracing for impact. This way! I'm still catching my breath as McMurphy's head disappears beneath the surface. My mind is saying, no, this is ridiculous, get back to land this instant, but my body is following the Irish cat. My eyes take a moment to adjust, but when they do, I can hardly believe what I'm looking at. It's a shell. As we approach from the stern, it looks pretty much intact. I don't know about that, the fucking art doesn't make it look that way. I can see the name on the rear port side, and though faded and worn away in parts, the words are unmistakable. Kitty's desire. My head is swimming due to the excitement and lack of oxygen. I flounder to the surface to catch my breath. Kitty's desire. I feel like I know that name. McMurphy eventually bobs up to join me on the surface. Surprised? A shipwreck, here. This is a very old island, Gara. A lot has happened here. But, how did the ship even get here before the path was made? Hey, don't ask me, Gara. I'm just in it for the grog. McMurphy smiles and dives back into the murky depths. I follow. A flailing flesh bag in comparison to Merv's sleek figure. I try to get closer to look at the wreckage. It's a big ship, likely a trading vessel, judging from the size. It's hard to tell how old it is, but it certainly isn't modern. Maybe 18th, 19th century. When we enter the ship from the huge hull in the stern, I realize that a lot of the vessel is actually on land, and it's obvious that it ran ashore after it was damaged at sea. There's not much time to ponder the mechanics of what happened, as McMurphy is tugging at my t-shirt with his right paw, while gesturing with his other paw outstretched, to a cabin he wants me to enter. I'm grateful for the air trapped inside and gasp for breath. Here, Gara, look! Hang on, let me catch my... But he's already ducked into the next cell. How is he not out of breath? I realize his ability to swim underwater is unusually strong, but he barely breaks the surface at all. In here, through the hole? He sounds really excited, and as I enter I see why. There in the center of the cabin is a chest. It's wedged between the wall and a surprisingly well-preserved writing desk, the only thing preventing it from falling and being buried in the sand.
A treasure chest? I sound like a giddy child and feel embarrassed, but McMurphy joins in my glee, and suddenly we're cheering and laughing together. Go on then, open it up, Gara. Okay. What are you waiting for? The key. Ah, does it need one? Well, of course it does, man. It's a locked treasure chest. Can you not just break the lock? What do you think? How do you think I am, Houdini? I don't know about that, but I do know you're a very clever scientist. Which thirst for knowledge matches my thirst for grog. So you get yours and I'll go get mine.
My markers are falling off my whiteboard. Come on, stay up there.
The monkey grins before darting into the next cabin, and I hear a familiar clinking of bottles shortly after. I decide to try the lock anyway while McMurphy is getting his. I look around for something, anything I could lever it with, and I'm disappointed. Everything except the chest and desk must have been washed away a long time ago. They'll have to come back with some tools to tackle that lock, Murph. There comes no response. McMurphy is obviously still busy with his looting and pillaging, so I decide to swim to the beach to get a better look at this wreck from the land. When I can take in the scene properly, I can make out what looks like another large ship just a bit further down the beach. I can hardly believe what I'm seeing. One huge sea vessel finding its way to this island is strange enough, but two meeting the same unhappy fate is more than my brain can process. The proximity of the pair would suggest a collision of some kind. Possibly the second vessel could have been a pirate ship. Maybe it was attacking the merchant vessel. I get the feeling I'm looking at the conclusion of a very interesting story here. I wonder why Professor Pawpur didn't tell me about it. Obviously, he must be aware of the two vessels. My nose for intrigue has started to twitch, and I'm burning to know more. I decide to take some of the debris, splinter, and small chunks of metal and pocket it for later analysis in the lab. When I'm satisfied that I've thoroughly combed the beach for specimens and have salvaged anything of interest, I realize that I haven't seen McMurphy for quite a while. My heart stops and the hairs on my neck stand on end. How could I have been so wrapped up in my work that I neglected to keep an eye on my friend? McMurphy! I'm met with silence and still water. I run back towards the kitty's desire, my heart thumping in my chest. McMurphy! I jump in the sea and swim to the stern of the ship. There doesn't seem to be any life around here. I break through the surface with a choke and try to call out again, but my throat is hoarse and full of seawater. Where? I catch sight of a shadow out of the corner of my eye, crawling along the seabed. I dive under to get a better look and instantly see that it's the Irish cat, stalking and prowling as if he were on land. I quickly grab him by the scruff of the neck and drag him back to shore. McMurphy, you loon! What on earth were you playing at? I catch my breath and check on him, but he's happily rolling on his back in the sand. Me? I was having a grand old time until you manhandled me with those big meaty paws of yours.
And so, the correct answer here is to let it go, I think.
Let it go, let it go, can't hold it back anymore. Beg, matey, what? Charming, I must say. I'll have you know I was very worried about you. And I fully appreciate it, Cara. Meaty paws. McMurphy had started laughing, and it's too infectious not to join in. Seriously though, Mac, that was some impressive fast control. I didn't see you come up for air once. I think I get it from my mother, God bless her. I believe she had fantastic lungs. Do you remember her? Flashes sometimes, Cara. When I'm on that grog, I have all kinds of flashes, so who knows what's real and what isn't. I can feel he's nudging me off that subject, so I respect his privacy. What do you know about these two beauties, then? We survey the ships in silence for a moment or two. I know they've been a source of great pleasure for me, Gara. Beyond that, I don't really care too much. You really are the embodiment of hedonism. I'll take that as a compliment, Gara. I can't help but laugh. You would. There's worse thing in life than a little pleasure. True, but a bit of balance may be even better. And that's where you come in. Huh? You bring some balance to me, Gara. You let me be me, but you help me stay safe. Yes, I suppose so. And you bring some spice to what might otherwise be a rather bland scientist taste. McMurphy's green eyes glitter in the sunlight, and he throws me a wink. Come on then, swashbuckler. I need to eat something. I need something to eat after all that adventuring. I'll walk you back to camp if you promise to save a bite for your friendly tour guide.
Oh my goodness. The reading is catching up to me again. Rest. I'm definitely a little behind where I wanted to be at this point in the stream. But we're just gonna have to keep pressing onward and hope it turns out alright.
There are waves crashing. The sound is so loud I can't make myself be heard, but I still scream to the life raft that's moving away from the sinking ship. I'm going down with the ship. I'm being thrashed against the sides of the old wooden vessel. This isn't right. The ship looks wrong. A cat's face looms close up to mine. Everything is wrong. All of it. Which cat are you? But the words come out of my mouth as mewling, and I realize I'm not myself. I'm some kind of beast. Suddenly I'm flying. I'm in the claws of some enormous bird. The beating wings are deafening. I look down to see the ground approaching really fast.
You can drop through the break.
What does that mean? What break? What break? Breakfast, rise and shine.
Took me a second to remember what I was doing for the marigolds. You will notice, I don't know why they wait until like chapter 4, but the marigolds will actually become somewhat reoccurring characters at this point. They're not as like integral as some characters, but they will start to pop up. They're mentioned very early on, but you don't see a ton of them. I'm gonna save a 8 for the final one. These other two are a little less, like, intense, I think.
I'm writing in my journal. I've developed a habit of getting up early and writing for 30 minutes each morning before I begin my day. I'm often so tired at the end of the day that I just want to fall into bed, and my journal gets neglected. Also, I like the way it grounds me before this strange island sucks me into the adventure of a new day. This morning, my concentration is being broken by a very odd noise, and I suddenly realize it's the sound of someone trying to knock on my tent flap. Hello?
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt.
I recognize the voice as belonging to Mr. Marigold, the island's caretaker. Oh, good morning, Mr. Marigold. I spring up to greet him. Can I help you? I would invite you in, but... I indicate the chaos inside my tiny tent.
Barely room to swing a cat, I know.
I laugh at his joke, but notice his deadpan expression and realize he's serious. I quickly move on, stepping outside. Is there something I can help you with?
I hope so.
And that would be?
Miss Marigold has taken to her bed. Proper sick she is. So the boss said I should ask you to fill in for her today, if that's alright.
I know the professor well enough by now to understand that I don't actually have a choice. I am filling in for Miss Marigold today, whether it's alright with me or not. Actually, I'm quite intrigued. Great. I mean, I'm sorry to hear your wife's poorly. Nothing serious, I hope. But I'm happy to spend some time with you, Mr. Marigold.
Well, best make it an early start then. You get your shoes on and I'll meet you at the jetty.
Mr. Marigold's voice will change every 5 seconds, apparently.
And before I can say another word, he's disappeared off towards the water. I put my journal back into its hidey hole and grab my backpack with the field kit in it, before stuffing my feet into my trainers. When I arrive at the jetty, I can see that Mr. Marigold has already started work mending the wooden rail, where a couple of the posts were damaged in a recent storm. How can I help?
Just pass me the pins as I go along. Just pass me the pins as I go along. Need to reinforce this, then recoat it with preservative.
I'm a bit disappointed. Just so you know, I can use a hammer too, if you have a spare. We can get this mended much quicker with the two of us working on it.
There's no rush.
Oh, no, I suppose not.
You're here with me for the whole day anyway.
Oh, I didn't mean that. Actually, I'm pleased for the opportunity to break out of it, try something different.
Bored of this place already?
He squints sideways at me. No, not at all. There's so much going on here. I haven't even begun to uncover half of what this island has to offer, I'm sure. I just meant it's nice to have the chance to get to know someone new. Company is in short supply here.
Human company.
He mumbles it half under his breath, so I'm not certain he even said it. I beg your pardon?
You seem to be getting on with the cats, though, eh?
Oh yes, I'm spoiled for choice with feline friends.
Be careful with that.
I stop and look at him. He holds my gaze. What do you mean?
Be careful with those bins. You're going to have them over the edge in a minute.
I look down and see that in not paying attention, I have kicked the box perilously close to the edge of the jetty.
Closer to the edge than you thought.
I get the feeling we're not just talking about the box of nails. Yes, I wasn't paying attention.
Looking in the wrong direction, that's when we miss the things right under our nose that could cause problems.
Mr. Marigold, we've stopped what we were doing and are standing up now, looking directly into each other's eyes. Do you know something I ought to know?
Such as?
Well, obviously I don't know.
I know you're an inquisitive little blighter.
Have you been watching me, Mr. Marigold?
Keeping an eye might be a more accurate way of putting it.
Well, thank you, I think.
You're welcome, but I wouldn't be so quick to trust people if I were you. You don't know me or my intentions.
And suddenly he lets out a roar of laughter and gets back to work. I have the feeling you're one of the good guys, Mr. Marigold.
Call me Mason.
I hand him pence and we say no more, but as I go over our conversation in my head, I realize I've heard those words before, or some very like them. The nameless message on my catalogue, be careful who you trust, and it hits me. Mr. Marigold is my messenger.
So, yippee! We actually found out a new piece of information. At least at the moment, we are presuming that Mr. Marigold is in fact the person who has been sending us those cryptic messages. So we finally figured out a big mystery. Big mystery. Alright, we will do romance, then recon, then romance, then research. With probably a rest in there somewhere. Okay. McMurphy. I don't know, these events seem to feel pretty long too. Not as bad as Trixie though. Trixie's events were really fucking long.
As the sun is going down, I decide to retreat into my tent for the night. When I undo the flap, I see McMurphy curled up asleep on my pillow. McMurphy, you're going to get fur all over everything.
Oh, hi there, Cara. You're back late, you rapscallion.
Why are you in my bed?
Ah, come now. We both knew I'd get in your bed eventually, didn't we?
The word presuming is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. I can't remember if there's a twist later on in the game or not, or if it's actually just Mr. Marigold. I'm using the word presuming because I don't remember.
My hand reaches for the spray bottle, but McMurphy throws up his paws defensively.
Wait, I did that in McMurphy's voice. Oops.
I'm an unarmed cat, Cara, and I actually come to give you something for good behavior. Don't make me send it back now.
Gab me something. What?
Ah, sure, now you're listening. I found something that might interest you.
If it's more of that grog, McMurphy, I can assure you I'm not interested in the slightest. I sit on the edge of my bunk and push him off my pillow, but I allow him to stay on the bed. As he moves reluctantly aside, I can see a black corner poking out from under my blanket. What's that?
Why don't you take a look?
I eye him skeptically, nervous of what he's roping me into now. Tell me what it is first.
Ah, will you just pick it up, Gara? It won't bite.
I carefully reach for it and realize it's a small leather book, beautifully aged, and yet seems to be in good condition. I open it as gently as I can, for fear that it might turn to ash in my hands. On the first page, smudged and faded, but not destroyed by time or water, are the words, Captain's Log. I can't stop myself from grasping out loud. Oh, Murph, how did you find this?
There's a lot you can find at the bottom of a bottle, or 12. Are you impressed?
Impressed? Speechless? I could kiss your furry head.
Well, don't let me stand in the way of you and your passion.
I hardly notice he's speaking, as I've begun trying to decipher the entries, and I'm instantly engrossed. 1789. The men are getting restless. I begin to fear the continued safe running of this vessel, my vessel, of which they are in mind to take ownership, if my captain's instincts serve me right.
Are you listening?
Oh, sorry, what?
I said maybe I should leave you to it then.
Yes. Now, wait, McMurphy. Tell me where you really got this from. Was it the treasure chest?
No, Gara. Would you believe it? That thing was full of nothing but sand and salt water. That bit of treasure, on the other hand, I found at the bottom of one of my crates of grogs, hidden in between the bottles.
Ah, this belongs to a captain. Why would it be with the crew's provisions?
I'll let you figure that one out, Brainiac. Think of it as a puzzle to keep you amused on all of your cold, lonely nights.
McMurphy snarks and saunters out of my time.
New unlocks, Recon 15, which is great because I needed that. I needed that at precisely now o'clock. So, Recon. The Death Note. Fucking, have y'all been seeing, I've been getting a lot of these memes lately where, like, it's Light Yagami writing names down in a notebook and he's just like, Hitler! And it's all of these people who are, like, presumed to be dead. It's like, and then at the end, the IRS! Yes! Light, that's not how it works! The DMV! The ATM! Holy shit, Light, you were right! Just cuts to like a beautiful cityscape free from strife. Ugh, I really enjoy those ones.
The buck McMurphy gave me is sitting on my lap. I wonder what a pirate's diary is doing on this island. Maybe there will be some clues within. The log reads, I felt an almighty crash, and then silence and stillness everywhere. It took a few seconds to gather my thoughts and understand what had happened here. If it would ever really be possible to understand this godforsaken place, and how we got so far off course to reach here. But in that moment, immediately after we hit the rocks, I knew two things. I was alive, and we were on land, and I felt grateful for it. I felt like a chance at survival, and I was determined to grasp it. I felt my legs, intact thank God, and began crawling over the slate and shingle that seemed to stretch upwards to eternity. What type of place was this?
Death Note memes are top tier for some. They are really good. Fun game. Who would you trust with the Death Note? I'm not sure I trust anyone with the Death Note. I'm not gonna lie. I can't think of a person that I would really and truly trust with the Death Note. And that's nothing against any of the people in my life. It's just I ponder if someone should actually have that power. You can trust me with it. You know what? You're so goddamn right. Just give Ace the Death Note. Yeah, all of my mods can have the Death Note. How about that? We'll see what they do with it.
Darkness was falling fast, but I needed to make sure we would be safe in this unexplored terrain. Who knew what might happen during the long night, what creatures it may bring, even what strange meteorological anomalies. Those are not words you often hear in this voice. Meteorological anomalies. Looking at the sky, I felt anything was possible, and we ought to be prepared. We had to work fast. I assembled the men, braggle-taggle though we were, into some kind of orderly unit, in the hope that the familiarity of discipline would raise morale. We were all tired, cold, and hungry. Some of us needed medical attention. This was not going to be easy, but it's what I was trained for, and I'd rather die than let my men down. We need to make shelter. My voice sounded thin and weak against the sound of the waves crashing. At first light, I looked around and began to take stock properly. It was gratifying to see that the temporary shelter we had cobbled together last night was still intact, and no disasters had befallen us to add to the difficulties we were already burdened with.
Would you trust Whiskers with the Death Note?
Yes.
Yes, I would. Actually, I feel like that's one of the few people I can think of where I'm like, unequivocally, I would trust Whiskers with the Death Note. I can think of very few other people. No one should have it since it's the ultimate hammer and perceived nail problem. And Light Yagami was a fucking idiot. To be fair, I've really only watched the first core of Death Note. I only got to the part where they introduce what's her name? Misa? Is that her name? I'm struggling. I think my brain just saw that and was like, yeah, that's kind of cringe, and then I kind of lost motivation to keep watching, even though I was enjoying myself up until then. Yeah, if I didn't give a Death Note away, I'd literally just ship it to Colorado.
Considering the conditions we erected this makeshift covering and how short a time, I felt heartened for the first time since we were out at sea, before the strange electrical storm began that ended with us being thrust here against the unforgiving rocks of this terrifying place. We could do so much more with daylight on our side and food in our bellies. So they shipwrecked on this island. The thought of being the first inhabitants here is terrifying. How on earth did they survive? Maybe they didn't. I want to believe they were rescued, but that seems unlikely. I will read more this evening. As I put the book away, a small piece of paper falls into my lap. It must have been hidden amongst the pages of the log. It's a note, maybe a letter. Sally, I know you worry for me, but do not. The men do not treat me bad. They give me food and do not beat me so much anymore. The captain is not so fearsome as they say and is giving me lessons on my writing. I'm improving, and I practice all night because I can't sleep. I work hard sometimes till my hands crack and bleed, but I still use them every morning to pray for you, that you are safe and well, and that we will be together once again. I miss you so much. The seas have not been smooth.
Ah yes, let me just kill criminals in the US and Japan. Two legal systems renowned for their fairness and objectivity. Yeah, like, let's be so real. There were plenty of people falsely incarcerated that Light totally wrote down.
What a sweet letter. I wonder what became of Jim.
Alright, rest, romance, research. You know how this shit goes. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Only the son of a cop could come up with a plan like that. That's like the perfect interpretation of that.
Taxi and Kebbles have brought me to the ridge where the pools of colored water collect. We call them the rainbow pools. It's a beautiful day, and there's a feathered rainbow across the sky. Kebbles is over on the other side from me shouting. Well, look at this. Come over here. He sounds further away than he is. My hearing isn't quite right, but I don't mind. What is it? You need to see it. Suddenly I'm beside him. He's looking over the edge of the cliffs, in which when I look down, the sea is further away than I expect. It's such a long way down. Jump. Do you see? And I feel a push from behind, and as I begin to fall, I hear Trixie laugh. Curiosity did what? And I'm not falling at all. I'm floating, light as a feather. Fly, little bird, fly away home. This is the best feeling ever. I'm going higher now, up towards the rainbows. I'm going to touch it. Mind you don't get scorched by the sun. I feel myself being shaken. Umi, you really ought to go in now. It's too hot out here to sleep. I'm on a patch of scrub grass beside my tent. I was just having a moment of shut-eye in the sun, but I must have fallen asleep. Oh, thank you, Trixie. I smiled at the Calico Cat as I surreptitiously scratched at the prickly heat on my legs. Surreptitiously. I freaking love that word, surreptitiously.
Look at that star. And now, take yourself 1,000 miles beyond it and tell me what you see.
I laugh as McMurphy passes me the ball out. I take a swig. McMurphy, what are you talking about?
Just do it, Kara. That big shiny one way up there. Go 1,000 miles beyond. And tell me where you get to.
To be fair, 1,000 miles beyond a single star is not that far. It's not that far. Like, I think the Earth, like, how far Mercury distance to the sun? Mercury is 29 million miles from the sun. 29 million. What the fuck is going 1,000 miles past the sun going to accomplish? Like, 1,000 miles past any star going to accomplish?
I smile. I'm partying on Venus.
Oh yeah?
There are so many goddesses here, McMurphy. They're all naked. You should see this.
You're still in the corona, lol. Exactly.
The laughing stops, or maybe it was only my head to begin with. I look down at the fluffy cat, who seems far from his usual self.
I mean, personally, I would go 1,000 miles if I could.
And I go 1,000 miles if I could just say yeah.
Yeah, okay, kitty cat.
I think there's a big pub up in that sky.
McMurphy grins and closes his eyes.
And there I am, my big human toes warming by the fireplace. My long hair is the same dark golden color as the ale I have in my man hand. They're singing, lots of it, and people dancing all around. Those that can't find space to dance on the floor, dance on the tables, naturally. There's an old sky pirate in the corner telling his stories to anyone who'll listen. Of the time he sailed to Jupiter and Mars. Wait a minute, that sounds like a train song. And you're there too, of course. You're sat right next to me. We've unlimited drinks because we're famous in these parts. We're practically royalty. Ale, stout, beer, whiskey too. They just keep coming. When it gets dark and the place is quiet, we sneak out back to the beer garden. There's a clear view of the earth from where we're sitting. We don't miss it.
McMurphy spats.
We talk about our adventures, about how we sailed off this diamond island, about how the ship became airborne. We talked about how we fought the big-breasted, bloodthirsty alien wrenches of the Emerald Star, whatever the fuck that means, and how we had to charm our way out of the space slug's lair. I reckon we'd have a lot of fun. Of course, you wouldn't be able to keep your paws off me, Cara. You'd be begging for a kiss, and I'd be saying, now, Cara, I'm not just a piece of meat, you know. And you'd be saying, oh, McMurphy, please, just one of your world-famous kisses. The fancy French kind, and I'd be saying, please, Cara, control yourself.
I start snickering again.
What you laughing at?
Yo!
Are you trying to say that you wouldn't be all over me if I was a human?
Of course I would.
Ouch, now don't be mean.
Yeah, I'd be the one begging me for a kiss.
What on earth gives you that idea?
A top of the morning, Cara. I love you so much to be shot. Give me a smacker.
I don't know what that word is. Bagora?
That is so offensive.
I stop laughing.
I went a little far there.
I went a little too far there, I'm sorry.
McMurphy lets out a
McMurphy lets out a wry smile.
Well, maybe I would try to steal a little kiss. Who could blame me?
Yeah, I wouldn't get one. McMurphy smiled his pears.
You know something, Cara?
Huh?
I think I should just come out and say it.
Say what?
You're alright.
There's a pause. Not an uncomfortable pause, just a slightly confusing one. You're alright, too. McMurphy is staring at the stars.
I don't know what I'm doing. It's a strange feeling. I'm used to being a step ahead of everybody. Well, 2 steps ahead of you.
Hi, don't be rude, Marv. I laugh. McMurphy grins.
This feeling, it isn't new to me, but I'm still not sure what it is. All I know is that you get me in a way no one has before, and I get you too, even if you don't care to admit it. I guess it's time to let the cat out of the bag.
Without thinking, I look around. I'm so used to bagging and unbagging cats for my work that I take him literally, but his expression stops me from reacting.
I've become attached to you in these last few weeks. You've captured my heart, and I don't want to be without you, Gara.
And we're gonna say you have my heart.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that, McMurphy. I haven't had so much fun, felt so free, or been so happy as the time I spent with you. I don't think I'd care to be without you either. You have my heart.
Oh god, I keep... Now I'm accidentally switching into the McMurphy voice. It's taking over. Oh god! I've given it too much power!
To my surprise, McMurphy looks visibly relieved.
Well, Gara, I look forward to many more adventures with you.
Yippee! That's number 4. Do we have any extras left? No? Still nothing, huh? Damn. Anyways. Research. Let me go make sure we're looking good. Yeah! We're looking good. Research should add the desired amount to the antidote. Done. Extras. Yep, research. Here we go.
I arrive at the lab at the usual time. As I walk through the door, the professor is standing right in front of me with a disconcerting smile on his face.
Ah, generic. Perfect timing.
Ah, morning, Professor.
Have you seen Muffin today?
I haven't. Why do you ask?
See for yourself.
He steps aside as I enter the tent. I immediately see what he's referring to. Muffin is bounding and scurrying at breathtaking speed, sending everything in her path flying. Crikey, Professor, what on earth has gotten into her?
Some time ago, we tried to test a new sample on her. There was no response at the time. I expect this is just a much delayed reaction to that sample.
She's like a hyperkin.
Indeed. I have an assignment for you today.
You want me to catch her, don't you, sir?
Absolutely. You must retrieve some samples for analysis. Skin, hair, saliva.
Right, okay. The professor chuckles to himself as he wanders out of the lab. He's right to laugh. This isn't going to be easy. Muffin is bouncing all over the place. I stumble around for a while trying to catch her, but she's too fast. I have to think this through strategically.
Is food the right option here? Interesting. We're gonna go with... sit down, let her come to me. I don't know. My logic here is that she's gonna be too hyper even with the food.
Catching her by the hand is never going to work. But if I know Muffin, I know she won't resist a good laugh. I take a seat across the room from her and wait. I pretend I'm not paying her any attention. I take out my catalogue and check my messages. I notice out of the corner of my eye, Muffin has stopped bouncing about. I continue to ignore her. The next thing I know, the Persian fluff ball has landed in my lap and is purring solicitously. I don't know if that was the right word. I may have misread that. We'll move on though. I let her sit for a minute before taking the necessary samples with minimum fuss, then replace her in her crate. I'm prepping and cataloguing the samples when I notice something peculiar. The hair sample looks brittle, like it could turn to ash in my hand. I glance up at Muffin, and she's sleeping in an unnatural starfish position, as though she conked out mid-leaf. It makes me feel uneasy. I go and give her a gentle stroke. She seems perfectly fine and relaxed, but I can't help feeling she seems older than before. I think I'm getting paranoid. So if I'm not mistaken, I believe Muffin is the cat we administered samples to at the end of our last tenure. Our last character, basically. I've come to the forest to gather my thoughts. This morning I noticed another change in my appearance. Up until now, it's been easy to cover up my transition. I just had to keep on top of removing the excess body hair. Even the stump of a tail that appeared a few days ago hasn't been a problem. Who'd see it? But this new development is definitely a turning point. How am I going to explain the fact that my pupils have turned into vertical slits? I can't risk anyone seeing me like this, so I'm going to hide out for a while and see what happens. It's a beautiful night. And McMurphy and I are lying on the sand by the old shipwrecks, relaxed in the way that only cats can be. When I remember back to all the anxiety and stress I used to live with, the endless hours fretting over the antidote research makes my fur stand up. I thought our lives depended on it. It was my love for McMurphy that finally got me to see sense. Why was I so desperate to make him see the same as me? Hadn't I fallen for him the way he was? So I decided to turn it on its head and become like him. I lose track after 30. We're laying out under the stars. I can't help smiling to myself, and I remember how cold I used to think it was at night. Mac used to rib me for my whining. Now here I am, snug as I can be, counting the stars with the cat I love more than anything in the entire world.
You see, the trouble is, Gara, you're still thinking like a scientist.
What do you mean?
So when you count the stars, you begin at 1, and I assume you're going to keep counting numbers until you've quantified the whole entire galaxy.
He laughs until his eyes twinkle with moisture. Oh yeah? Go on then, Murph the Wise. Enlighten me on a better way of counting.
So if you're asking me how many stars there are, I take an overall squint at the sky, judge how cloudy clear it is, and decide if there's light enough to hunt. Not too much is the right amount for that, by the way. Or too little light for a snooze. Best when it's bright, or just enough to steal a kiss from your sweetheart. And judging by the sky tonight,
he nuzzles into my fur, and I'm the happiest cat in the universe.
Those voices were really getting to me all. I thought I was fucking losing my mind. Those voices were actually making me tweak the fuck out. I cannot even lie. I was about to lose my fucking mind. I remember seeing it like an interview with Team Cherry today. Learning that Silksong wasn't in development hell, but in development heaven this whole time was so funny. Just like, we had so many ideas we wanted to include. We just couldn't stop adding shit. I kind of figured it was something like that. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the social media communication we've gotten from Team Cherry has said, like, guys, let them cook. I remember seeing an interview a while back that was just saying, like, they're really flexing their muscles with this game. Like, Hollow Knight was made on a shoestring budget. It was crunch time. They were trying to get the best game that they could out with as little resources as possible. They now have the ability to just go all in as much as they want. Development heaven is hilarious, though. That's a really funny way to put it. Oh yeah, so time for another route. Time for another character. We are definitely a little bit behind. I'm still probably gonna stop at 11, but I might have to start early. They don't even look at social media, least online indie devs imaginable. Can you all send me this interview? I actually kind of want to read it now. Because a lot of what I was talking about is older information. Is this like this? I feel like someone said that there was a new interview that was coming out like today or something like that. All right, we need another name. Anybody have a good idea for a name? Alright, cool. Majima. Yeah, sure. Majima works for me. Yeah, let's do it. Majima's fine. I even thought, I think Majima works better than Kiryu. I just want this guy to be, like, super chipper. Does that make sense?
I step off the boat and onto Cat Island. I'm full of anticipation about what my first day will bring. 8 hours, 1 journal, and a wild cat chase later. So apparently this first day brings physical assault of the biggest trauma of my life.
So you'll notice how quickly we get into it as of Route 5.
Oh, is it awake? Human, we need to talk to you.
Save it.
I know how this goes, Fluffy Bum. Blah, blah, catification, blah, blah, evasive answers, blah, blah, antidote, and basically you need my help. Did I miss anything?
No, not really.
Wow, you really did read that journal front to back, didn't you? Front to back.
Yes, are you going to help us or not?
Fine, I'll help, whatever. See you after my day job. So, yeah, no, they stopped fucking around after a little while. I returned to the camp feeling a little bit less grumpy. I'm just about to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. Message without any contact information. Who the hell? Did that just say stitches get stitches? I feel like it was supposed to say snitches get stitches. Like, am I losing my mind? Hold up. I might have just like misread, but no, it just says snitches get stitches. Okay, cool. Someone needs to take that phone away from Mason. Someone needs to take that phone away from Mason Marigold. The rest of the day is uneventful. Just working in the lab with the professor. I cannot wait to start unpicking this mystery. I suppose the cats are my starting point. They must know more than they're letting on. I intend to get to the heart of each of them. See what secrets they may hold. Thank you, Azeweeb. Yeah, I'll work out this guy's voice eventually, but I just wanted to be, like, super positive, even when it shouldn't be. Let's start with romance this time, for no fucking reason. Alright, well, we've been given exactly one option, so it's Kibble's time. I'm out in the forest, looking for some shade in a place that won't be disturbed. I need to be relaxed when I finally read the precious contents of the envelope I'm carrying. It feels like I've waited an age for this moment. Eventually, I find a clearing with a moss-covered tree stump that looked comfortable enough. I have a quick check around to satisfy myself that I'm alone before I take a seat and slowly unpeel the flap of brown wrapper and pull out my issue of Kanashi Boy. What the fuck? Is Kanashi... It either means sad or happy. I know that for a fact. Kanashi... Sad. Yeah. That literally just means sad boy. Like, that's literally what this fucking means. I'm about to crash out. It's a treat to get some quiet manga reading time to myself. I'm just starting to get into it when I hear a rustling sound coming from the nearby bushes. It's not the sort of sound the wind makes when it ruffles the leaves. It's more deliberate than that. I look over towards the bush, and the noise stops abruptly. Almost as soon as I resume reading, it starts again. I try to ignore it and continue with my comic, but it's very intrusive. I feel like I'm being watched. Who's there? The rustling gets louder. Hello? I inch my way towards the source of the sound, nervously holding my breath. I reach out my arm to pull aside the branches when something bursts out of the bush and knocks me sideways. Kibbles? What on earth were you doing? Were you spying on me? I don't really know what this voice is. This voice is less a voice and more an inflection. He picks himself up from the ground, desperately trying to style it out.
Oh, you're here. I hadn't noticed. I was just looking for something.
In a bush?
Yeah, I left my...
Kibbles looks around frantically for something. He locks eyes on an unremarkable looking flat pebble and picks it up triumphantly.
My pebble. I left my pebble in this bush. Found it now.
Good. I'd hate to think what would happen if you lost that.
Yeah, anyway, what are you doing?
Reading? I hold up the comic book, emphasizing the obvious.
Yeah, thought so.
You're very observant, Kibbles.
So, that Kanashi boy?
What? I'm taken aback. Yes, actually it is. Do you know it? And more to the point, how do you know it?
Yeah, it looks like issue 8.
That's right. Now I'm impressed as well as amazed. Kibbles, how on earth did you know? Questions already flooding my brain, but I need to play this cool. I don't want him shutting me out.
That's an old issue.
Looks like he has no intention of answering my questions, so I try a different tack. I'm a little behind, so I brought a couple of back issues with me to bring me up to date.
So which version are you reading?
Version? I'm not sure.
It's probably the inferior American translation. You have to get the original Japanese or the European versions to get all the nuance.
Like garter belt? I don't know if I can do that voice. Can I do that voice? God, that would be funny. Hold on. Let me look up a garter belt. Would that be funny? Should I try that? Let me look up a... Yeah. That's what I thought. That is hilarious to me, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Because I love garter belt. Like, don't get me wrong. Loaf is over party. Yeah, let's avoid that maybe. Like, don't get me wrong. I love garter belt. That's a fun ass character, but I feel like I need, like, the inflection is on point for this guy, but I don't have a good voice for him yet.
Oh? It's impossible to truly understand the death of Fumiyoshi and Hara's relationship in the version you've got.
You're a proper fan, then?
Could say that, I guess.
I'd love to pick your brain sometime.
What do you want to know?
Does the original version explain how they're able to enter the third chamber together when Chisato gets turned into a hog?
Oh yeah, that's because she tried to pass through the gate without Issao's approval.
Oh right, that would make sense.
If it was cut for some reason. The American version they're selling these days is plebeian trash.
Well, I like it.
Any serious Kanashi boy fan would track down the European translation.
I'm not sure, but I think I'd be able to get those delivered here. I guess I'll have to make do with... I don't think I'd be able to get those delivered here. Guess I'll have to make do with the trash version.
I'd rather read something else than read that inferior rag.
Fair enough, but I'm still enjoying this. I start to go back to reading my trash, but Kibble suddenly springs forward, grabs the comic from my hands, and runs off into the undergrowth. Hey, Kibbles! Bring that back! But he's gone. I wait for a while, not quite believing what he just did. After a few minutes, I lose hope that he'll return and start packing away my things to head back to camp. Just as I start walking away, Kibbles comes crawling back through the bush. Oh, there you are! What was that all about?
I got you something.
That's when I notice he's holding a copy of Kanashi Boy issue 8. But it's not my copy. This one is in a pristine plastic cover. Looks new.
Yeah, this is my copy.
Yeah, literally neckbeard cat. We have Crystal Chick Trixie, Irish Stereotype, Irish stereotype McMurphy, actual racist and conspiracy theorist, floofy butt, neckbeard, fucking this guy. Somehow like Snooty Booty's just like uptight, like, and self-absorbed.
Original Japanese, actually.
Wow, but how do you understand it? Don't tell me you speak Japanese.
Look, I've made my own translation.
What the fuck?
There are pieces of paper tucked in between the pages with scrawled writing on them. How'd you manage that?
One of those ones before you. She helped me translate it.
One of the ones before me? What does that mean? A previous assistant?
Want to read this and that?
I'm far more interested in what he's just said. You said, helps. Kibbles was looking at the cover of Kanashi Boy, but I sense he's pretending to be preoccupied. He's clearly said more than he intended to, and now he's distancing himself from it. That would suggest they're still here.
Where does the circle end?
Huh? I'm annoyed that he's obviously trying to change the subject.
It's a simple question, human.
I'm worried if I push him too far, he'll disappear into the bushes, so I decide to play along, for now. Where does the circle end? He's watching me intently, and I get the feeling this is some kind of test. The circle ends where it began, probably. Kibbles looks delighted.
Oh, cool, you've read it.
Read what?
Sakura.
I'm sorry, I don't know that one.
But she gave the right answer.
I have no idea what we're talking about now.
Sakura, like, Eishi Getseki. You haven't read it?
Afraid not. Is it good?
Only the best in the genre.
Which is?
Guro, naturally.
Oh, so Guro is grotesque. I think. Based Team Cherry. I gotta read this interview now. You know what? If you can get away with streaming this game, you might be able to do the Garter Belt voice. Oh my god.
And Guro means?
Gore, of course.
Of course. Wasn't aware that gore was a whole genre. I realize I'm a bit out of my depth here.
I can lend it to you. I have a copy here.
Kibbles looks like he's about to dive back into the bushes. Whoa, hang on a minute. That sounds really interesting, but I'm in the middle of Kanashi Boy.
So, ditch that and start this. You won't regret it.
Team Cherry decided to finally explain themselves after like 5 years. Where is this? Kibbles. Yeah, we're supposed to read Sakura. Alright, fair enough.
Well, normally I would finish the series I'm on before starting another, but got me very interested in Sakura, I must say.
Wait right there.
And he's gone before I can open my mouth. I'm starting to get used to this routine, so I wait patiently. He's back within seconds. That was quick. Where do you keep this stuff?
I can tell you, but...
And then you'd have to kill me?
Well, slow down, JJ. It's a bit too soon to be finishing each other's sentences.
JJ?
Jesse James. McMurphy told me all about him. Fastest draw in the Wild West.
And suddenly he's leaping around with pretend paws, pew-pewing until he's been shot and acts out an elaborate stagger-fall death scenario. Then he's back up on his feet in a heartbeat, pointing at the comic he's placed in my hands.
Yeah, it's universally agreed that it's the grossest manga out there.
Kibble grins as though that's a positive thing. I look at the glossy black cover and feel my interest peak. This doesn't look like the sort of thing I'd usually pick up in the comic shop, but I'm certainly intrigued.
Great! You're gonna love the bit where Kira's mom stabs out her own eyes because...
Kibbles! Spoilers!
Oh, who cares about spoilers? It feels totally different when you see it with the artwork. I don't want you to tell me any part of the story, Kibbles. It doesn't matter if it feels different. Okay, but just remember one thing. Kibbles, if this is a spoiler, I'll be very upset. The circle ends back where it began. Kibbles! I can't tell if that was an actual spoiler, but I still feel indignant.
Bro just recommended watching Euphoria or some shit. So I just took a bunch of screenshots. Damn, nice.
What? You said it yourself.
That was a lucky guess. What does it mean anyway?
It's a secret password for Sakura fans to help identify each other. The mangaka himself made it up.
Like, the Mason's secret handshake?
Yeah, probably.
You don't know what the Masons are, do you, Kibble?
It's like a boy band or something? Close enough. Should we make our own secret handshake? You know, in case someone tries to infiltrate our manga club.
Good idea, Kibbs. We don't want anyone getting their mitts on our intelligence.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So if you hold out your hand in a fist formation, and I do this.
Kibbles has splayed his claws out as if he's going to scratch me, but pushes his metacarpal pad onto my knuckles. Feels really strange. That's great, Kibbs. Really unique.
Yeah, so, anyways. I've got a lot of stuff to be getting on with. Important business stuff. I'll have to catch you later, human.
I feel a bit taken aback by a sudden change in mood. Huh. Okay, Kibbles. I'll get on with this manga then, and we can discuss it soon.
Yeah, sure, see ya.
I sit down on the tree stump and get stuck into my new comic when I hear,
Fill your hands, you son of a gun.
I look up to see that Kibbles has crept around to the far side of the trees to ambush me. I spring into action, falling to my knees behind the tree stump. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed cowboy, would you? You yeller-bellied snake? He momentarily lowers his paws.
What?
I seize my opportunity. Pew pew, gotcha! I shoot my finger guns at him.
Nuh-uh, I dodged.
What the fuck is this? Kibbles would recommend Emergence to someone reading Kaguya-sama. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. No, you got me, Can't believe this is how it all ends. I grab my chest and stagger onto the floor, doing a very good performance if I do say so myself.
That's what you get when you mess with a sass slinger.
I dart my head up. The what?
Oh, nothing.
What did you just call yourself?
I didn't say anything.
The sass slinger?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're boring me, human. I'm going now.
No, I mean, that's really cool. I want a name too. Kibbles looks surprised. I get off the floor and dust myself down. How about the sass slinger and his sidekick, the Banter Bomb. The Banter Bomb.
The Banter Bomb?
Yeah!
That's really embarrassing.
Okay, well, I'll think about it and get back to you, Kibbles. This has been so fun.
See you later, Bance.
He blows the imaginary gun smoke from each of his little paws and swaggers off into his bush. I feel childishly happy. Well, that was kind of fucking weird. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I know. It kind of is what he just did. Like, actually. Extras. I keep checking back at the extras, but there are no more. Where did the extras go? Recon. What do we got? Recon 5. So I expect... Let me go make sure of something real quick, just to make sure we're unlocking the recons properly. So Recon 5... Recon 1 is unlocked by Recon 5. Okay, we're good to go. And then when we hang out with Kibbles for the 4th time, Recon 14 will be unlocked. So we're doing alright. Recon 5. A certain white-haired nerd? Oh, Kibbles? Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Wow, I hate kibbles. Oh dear. I feel like this is... I might need to go blow my nose real quick. I think Kibbles is fucking with my nasal passages. Oh my god, my nose feels so much more stuffy than when I started.
The professor keeps all the data on a closed network. I have clearance to access a few files, but most of the info is encrypted and inaccessible to anyone but the professor himself. Good thing then that he left his laptop unattended before going on a trip to the mainland. He's gone to collect some specific components for some of the experiments we're running soon, or so he says, so I'm holding down the fort. When I open it, I see his laptop is running the same technology as the catalog. It's the only working computer that I've seen on the island. It's password protected, as I expected, but that's not a problem, because I have a trick up my sleeve. Kibbles, come over here, work your magic. Kibbles has been playing with what looks like a rubber band at the professor's desk. He leaps up and stares at the screen with huge black pupils.
It's a Unix system. Of course it's Unix!
God damn it.
It's a Unix system. I know this. Okay, so you'll have to use an OS exploit and a pen drive to boot straight to the desktop.
Okay, slow down, I'm not good with this stuff. After some fiddling and impatient instructions from Kibbles, we reach the desktop. The professor's desktop background is a picture of him surrounded by cats. It should look cute, but it looks strangely unnatural.
Kibbles is Francis from SPM multiplied by r/atheism and r/anime. What is SPM? Hold on. SPM? I feel like Francis SPM. Oh, here we go. Francis SPM. Oh, I vaguely remember this. Okay. I do think, yeah, I do remember this guy very vaguely. It's been so long since I played SPM, Super Paper Mario.
We search for the files. Kib says we can get past the authentication process, but we still need to figure out how to decrypt them. He sets a process going to try and work out the encryption key. While that's working in the background, I take a look around the rest of the computer to see what else I can find. I find a folder with pictures of all the cats in it. They look like they were taken from a distance with a powerful zoom lens.
Got me mid-sneeze, not very professional.
Why do you think he has these photos?
Well, I don't think he took them. He's only interested in cats as research subjects.
Really? And how do you explain this desktop background?
Dunno.
The computer makes a noise. The program is finished trying to decrypt the files.
Ugh.
What is it?
I couldn't get past the encryption. You can only get access to one file, and it's an old one.
I look at what he's referring to. Oh, but it's a good one.
Yeah, what's it say?
I read the document out loud. Observations on Project Felix. Day 74. Subject's ears are becoming pointed. Hearing range is expanded to 60 kilohertz. Subject appears to be developing a reflective layer behind the retina. Eyesight in darkness have improved by 50% since last measured. Subject's field of view has expanded to approximately 200 degrees. Body hair is becoming more dense, longer hairs around the mouth and eyebrows have begun to grow faster and appear to carry sensory information. Attempts to reverse the change have so far proved fruitless. Tomorrow we will carry out further invasive procedures. Day 75. Administered a combination of aminoglycosides, glucose, and the chemical extracted from the feral cat's adrenal glands. Initial results are promising. Subject appears to be in acute pain at all times. Day 76. Subject has perished overnight due to sudden heart failure, potentially as a result of increased stress. Postmortem to be carried out at 1700 hours.
Whoa, that's dark.
Yeah, it is.
Probably a good thing you never told the professor you're catified.
I nod and download the file to the pen drive as Kibbles instructed. I close the laptop. That's enough for one day, I think.
All right, we now have almost direct confirmation that the professor knows about the catification process and has been using it to further his own research. Ba-da-da-da. All right, off to do some more romance we go with fucking Kibbles. Honestly, of all the cats, Kibbles and Snooty Butt are probably the worst. Snooty Butt, is it Snooty Butt or Snooty Booty? Snooty Butt? Wait, no, not Snooty Booty. Floofy Butt. Sorry. Snooty Booty is okay. Snooty Booty is totally fine. It's Kibbles and the Major, Mr. Floofy Butt himself. We've got literal fucking... We've got Discord mod cat and fucking... I wonder which one you could be talking about, Ace. I wonder which one you could be talking about.
I've had a busy morning today, so I'm rewarding myself with a longer lunch break. I used the extra time to return to what has become my favorite reading spot in the forest, to finish Sakura.
To be fair, it's not all misses with this game. Like, Trixie's great, McMurphy's fun, Snooty Booty's actually pretty good, in spite of my slip up with the names earlier.
Kibbles was right. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying it so much more than I expected to. I'm not usually a fan of manga that's excessively bloody. My tastes tend to be more benign. This was an exception. The gore was so relevant to the individual characters and the overarching story that it felt entirely justified.
Uh-oh. He's getting to you, dude. He's getting to you.
I read the final page, closed the issue, and exhaled loudly. What an ending. I can hardly believe that the main character died.
Spoilers!
It's too sad, and yet completely authentic. I can't see how anybody could have escaped a situation like that. My thoughts are interrupted by the sound of some rustling nearby. I open my eyes. Hey, Kibbles! Kibbles tumbles out of the bushes again. He's holding an adorable little satchel which is shaped like a penguin.
Hello, Majima. Have you read Sakura then?
Yes, just finished it now. It was so disturbing, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, the buddy horror bits are epic.
You want it back? I hand Kibbles the comic book. He examines it closely, clearly looking for any signs of damage or wear. After a while, he seems satisfied. He opens the satchel and carefully places it inside. At the same time, he takes out 3 more comics and presents them to me.
You should try these now. They're on another level. If you want to be taken seriously, you've got to read them.
This motherfucker.
I struggle to understand who I should be trying to get to take me seriously. I give up. Okay, great. What do you have for me?
First, this is Hokurashi. It's about a kid who finds a puppet that lets him control his parents. This one's called Hungry Sparrow. The artwork is sick. This one's called The Icebreaker. He's a huge polar bear. And this last one is Kuchio Tsubome. It's probably my favorite.
Oh, wow! Kuchio Tsubome!
You've heard of it? I've read it. It's awesome, isn't it?
Well, I actually couldn't stomach it, but I don't know how well Kibbles will take that.
How well will Kibbles take that? Don't pretend. Yeah, okay.
To be honest, it's a bit much for me. Kibbles suddenly looks very serious. It reminds me of my lectures in uni when I answered a question wrong. But they don't want to come right out and say I was wrong.
In what way, much?
I think it's a bit relentless, the gore.
It's not relentless, it's integral. Integral, whatever, I fuck up that word all the time.
Really? I felt the scene where Kaede eats that slug was just gratuitous. Totally the wrong place for something so gut-churning.
What? Kaede never eats a slug. You must be thinking of something else.
No, It's right after Mihara brings her the fruit basket. She opens up a banana and the slug is inside.
I remember the fruit basket, but no slug.
He pulls the comic out from its protective sleeve and starts looking through the pages.
Here's the fruit basket, and then it goes straight onto the train scene. No slug, see?
Oh, I see what the problem is. This is the shorter version. The slug scene must be in the extended edition.
Extended version?
Yeah, I got it back at camp. I can lend it to you if you like. Swapsies? Kibbles looks upset for a moment, but quickly composes himself.
Oh, well, I've heard the extended version is way too long. That's probably why you didn't enjoy it. The pacing is much better on the standard edition.
You're probably right. You have better knowledge than me on this stuff. He looks super happy, prances around me for a few seconds, catching imaginary insects. Okay, Kibs. Can I still borrow Hungry Sparrow and Okurashi? He pulls himself together.
Oh, so you haven't read those?
Not yet. I've heard Hungry Sparrow is excellent.
I'll say nothing until you've read them. We can compare notes then.
Kibbles hands me the comics and packs Kuchio Tsubome away. Thanks, Kibbles. I'll bring him back as soon as I'm finished reading them.
See that you do.
Kibbles disappears backwards into the bushes once again, never breaking eye contact. Maybe he lives in that bush. Perhaps it's like the TARDIS. Okay. We are nearing the end of our time for tonight, but I gotta be honest, we are nowhere close to as far through this as I was hoping we would be. We do a quick rest. Cool. Nothing crazy on that rest event. Let's do one research and then I'm gonna call it quits for the night, I think. Get research 13. Let me go check the researches real quick and make sure we're gonna unlock them in the right order. Research 13 becomes available then. Research 10 is unlocked by research 13. And research 14 is unlocked in research 10. Okay, so these progress in a specific order. Gotcha. I'm spending the day examining the cats to make sure they're in good shape. Muffin is a little grumpy today, presumably because she's an old lady and she's just been woken up, but... Wait, what? Oh my god, the Muffin lore runs deeper. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Uh-oh. As I replace her in her crate, I can't resist doing the human-cat equivalent calculation. She's 18, so if one feline year equals 7 human years, that makes her the grand old age of 126. I know it's nonsense, but impressive anyway. Smokey's being quite vocal this morning, so I grab him next. His hair's a lot more luscious than it used to be. I can't help but run my hand through it. Although it's no longer growing, I can feel how thick it is. Apart from that happy consequence, there doesn't seem to be any other side effects from the drug we tried on him, which is a relief. Further examination shows him to be very healthy indeed. A little bigger and heavier than last time I weighed him. All of his other vitals are within normal acceptable range. I give him a small treat, and he plods off happily. Who's next, then? And B is back. I can't remember what voice I gave B. What voice was it? I suppose I have a free minute. I'm startled by a voice and turn to see that the quiet chocolate brown cat from the forest has entered without me noticing. Oh, B, you came! Well, I was invited. Of course. Will you let me check you over? I'd like to update your details on the catalog. Okay. She leaps up onto the counter gracefully, and I begin the examination. You're in very good condition, aren't you? If you say so, Turntail. Why do you call me that? She ignores the question. Turntail means coward, doesn't it? The journal the last assistant left said you called them Turntail too. I've read all about it. What did we do to deserve being called cowards? You tell me. She looks almost sad. Well, I've racked my brain since he first said it, and I can't really imagine. I continue checking her vitals, keeping myself busy to ease the tension between us. You're taking too long! Sorry,
Deltarune brain rot took over for a second.
You're taking too long. I removed the stethoscope from one of my ears. I'm sorry, B. You in a rush to get somewhere? I can't quite hide the sarcasm in my voice. Not this, I mean with joining the dots, working it out. Working what out? The connection. I wait to understand. Between us! She's becoming more irritated with me, so I try to pull it back by being ultra calm. And what would that be? It's like a red rag to a bull. Well, clearly not your IQ, mastermind. I feel stung. I can't understand why she's so upset with me. There's an awkward silence while I finish checking her over. Sorry. Her voice is no more than a whisper. I beg your pardon? It's not your fault. I just get so frustrated. Whenever there's a glimmer of hope, it's snuffed out before any progress is made. Although I don't understand, I don't want to interrupt her. She looks so earnest. I've been patient for so long, I'm beginning to forget. Forget what? Time is so... We mustn't waste it. She looks so small and lost. Look, B, I'm really sorry if I did or said something to get us off on the wrong foot. I think it'd be a real shame for us to not get along. We could be good allies. Important. Huh? The word I lost. Time is important. Yes, it is. See, we can agree. Maybe you and I could sit down together and talk about that a little more. Maybe we could. B leaps off the examination table and saunters toward the door. I'll let you know. I'll let you know, Durndale. She's gone before I can reply.
Yas, new unlocks. Okie dokie, smoky pokey. Alright, so, because I didn't get done as much as I wanted to today, I don't 100% know how the finale is going to go next time. I still fully intend to finish things next time, but I may need to start a little earlier or run a little late, depending on how things go. So I might need to break my no going past 11:30 rule, though I'll try and just start streaming earlier to compensate for that. That being said, I am past 11 right now, but not by much, but by a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and bring things to a close. I hope y'all have enjoyed this stream. I know this game is off-putting. I don't know. I find it to be charming. I find it to be charming. Does this end depending on... No, Azeweeb, the antidote carries over each time. So each time you bring in a new research assistant, you get a new... the antidote progress stays where it was on the previous assistant. Oh, okay. It should end with the antidote being completed, I think. I technically have never seen the true ending of this game, which is part of why I wanted to play it on stream. I think I, missed an important event or something in my original playthrough that left me, one fucking thing behind. But, for the most part, each of the research assistants so far has granted us 16.7% of the antidote, which you might notice is just about exactly a sixth of the antidote. So, and there are 6 assistants, we're on 5 of 6. In theory, we should be at about 83.3% once this research assistant is done with their stuff. And then we should be able to finish off the final 16 some odd percent the final time. It should end with us finding the antidote. Though, admittedly, in my original playthrough of this game, as I said, I did not get the antidote. So I think you end in a failure if you don't get the antidote. Though I'm not 1,000% sure. So we will keep going and we will find out. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, so, I mean, I know, this game is weird. This game is whack. Some of the characters are a little iffy. Kibbles for sure. At the very least, Floofybot was just by the end of the route was yeah, I'll put aside my prejudices and we can become a better person. Kibbles is just Kibbles is just a neckbeard Discord mod, and I don't know if I like that. I hope Kibbles has a character arc. I really do. I really do. But yeah, as I've said before, I do actually find this game to be rather endearing, and I hope at the very least, if you don't see the same, you can at least join me in laughing at its ridiculousness. But with that said, I'm just about done for the evening. Spiritfarer After, unfortunately, and I should bring this back up. Following me finishing this game, I'm gonna cut back on streaming. I tried in previous semesters to keep up 4 streams a week, and it just wasn't working. Like, I just couldn't do it. And so, I am gonna have to cut back on streaming, so it will mostly be, we'll go back to what is essentially a Persona, Celeste, and then D&D. Those will be the 3 streams per week. Presuming we start D&D back up somewhat soon, which I think we will. Not this Monday, I'm almost certain on that, but, yeah, I think we will be starting up with D&D again before too long. So that's where we'll get. Beyond that, the next couple games on my docket are Yakuza 1 and Blueprints, both of which I'm very excited to play. If you really think Spiritfarer will be a good streaming game, I'll definitely give that some thought. I was originally just planning on playing it myself, but if you think that that'd be a good streaming game, I'll look into it. I'll keep that in mind. That being said, though, I gotta bring things to a close. I'm getting a bit tired, and I can't afford to stay up as late as I once could. It has a good story. Okay, cool. As I said, I'm almost positive Spiritfarer is the kind of game that I will enjoy, just given what little I know about it. So it's on my short list for games to play. I was originally gonna play it myself after I finished Disco Elysium, but yeah. Maybe I'll look into doing it on stream as well. So, who knows? That being said, I want to thank everyone so much for watching. We had a nice little crew tonight. We had Azeweeb, Ace, CD, Amy, Spurk. I think that was everyone. I think those were the 5. But if I missed you, I still do quite appreciate you. Let me make sure on that. I said CD, Azeweeb. Azeweeb was here early. Then we had Amy and Spurk show up, and then Ace. Yeah, I think that's everyone. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate y'all sticking around with me and entertaining me on this rather silly little game. I sincerely hope everyone is enjoying it as well, even if it's ironic enjoyment rather than unironic enjoyment. But yes, with that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Ciao!